Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. What's up, everybody? Good morning. What's happening? What's going on out there? Morning news show. I got a bunch of news stories for you this morning. Just a channel side note here. Um, uh, Unfortunately, if you guys can let Nanya know, a big-headed bitch over there, that unfortunately I won't be sharing any of my private sex life with her this morning. I know she probably stayed up all night drooling and eating snacks with her big fat head, but that's not going to happen this morning. Maybe later this afternoon. Also, there's a distinct possibility that we'll be at Cousin Charlie's today during the day to screen snipe Crackhead Turner, but that's all for later today. This morning, we're just going to look at some news stories and yeah, again, sorry, Nanya, no time for you this morning, but maybe later today. Put your snacks down and just take a deep breath. Got a good song for you this morning. This is Mac Miller. Enjoy. Name of the song is Good News. Not so much good news this morning, but a great song.
Spent the whole day in my head. Do a little spring cleaning. I'm always too busy dreaming. Well, maybe I should wake up instead. A lot of things I regret, but I just say I forget. Why can't it just be easy? Why does everybody need me to stay? Oh, I hate the feeling when you're high but you're underneath the ceiling. Got the cards in my hand, I hate dealing. Yeah, get everything I need and I'm gone, but it ain't stealing. Can I get a break? I wish that I could just get out my goddamn way. What is there to say? There ain't a better time than today. Maybe I'll lay down for a little, instead of always trying to figure everything out. And all I do is say sorry. Half the time I don't even know what I'm saying it about. Good news, good news, good news, that's all they wanna hear. No, they don't like it when I'm down, but when I'm flying, oh, it make them so uncomfortable, so different. What's the difference when it ain't that bad? It could always be worse. I'm running out of gas, hardly anything left. Hope I make it home from work. Well, so tired of being so tired. Well, I gotta build something beautiful just to go set it on fire. No lie, but sometimes the truth don't sound like the truth. Maybe cause it ain't. I just love the way it sound when I say it. Yeah, it's what I do. If you know me, it ain't anything new. Wake up to the moon. Haven't seen the sun in a while, but I heard that the sky's still blue. Yeah, I heard they don't talk about me too much no more. And that's the problem with a closed door. Good news, good news, good news, that's all they wanna hear. No, they don't like it when I'm down, but when I'm flying, oh, it make them so uncomfortable, so different. What's the difference? There's a whole lot more for me waiting on the other side.
Alrighty, what's up, everybody? Good morning to you. Like I said, there's drama bubbling in the air, and believe it or not, your boy got something for these bitches later today. But let's start out with some news stories this morning. Thanks for being here, everybody. 11 of us, man. It's a shame I don't have any reports of a stranger's infant or another person's lover this morning, so this may not be that popular. But what can you do? Maybe if I was 400 pounds and I had a cam slip, and then maybe whatever. We're going to start with a story out of the Philippines. There was a big earthquake there yesterday. Tsunami warnings. Got some video footage of that, so we'll just jump right into that. Pretty gnarly. And our pedo president has decided to go to a basketball game today. Didn't go to his son's wedding a couple weeks ago, but he's going to a basketball game. So we're going to talk about that as well, and the security implications that pertains to, or that entails. So that should be a lot of fun. But let's start with this story. It's a very sad story out of the Philippines. Lots of reports still coming in. As you can imagine, it's absolute chaos there. Let's see here. There we go. All right, and this is a news report out of Australia.
Tsunami alerts have been issued after a powerful earthquake hit the Philippines. The magnitude 7.8 quake struck off Mindanao in the country's south, with video posted to social media showing significant damage and people huddling in the streets. Tsunami waves of up to 3 metres are possible across the Philippines archipelago. Well, let's bring in our correspondent, Tim Swanston, who is in Southeast Asia. Good afternoon to you, Tim. What do you know about the impacted area? Has there been any report of damage right now?
Yeah, g'day, Kath. Look, it is still quite early days into, assessments being made as a result of this earthquake, which, as you said, struck off the south coast of Mindanao. It does appear, however, that there has been quite some significant damage to certain buildings there in the south of Mindanao. There's no immediate reports of casualties at this stage. However, we do know that local officials are conducting those assessments at this moment. Now, vision does show that fairly dramatic moment that the earthquake hit. We can see residents that they were fleeing out of shops and businesses, of course, out of their homes as well, out onto the street into safety. Some residents have told news organisations that this was the most powerful earthquake that they'd actually felt there in the south of the Philippines. Most of the damage that we've seen at this moment appears to be centred around General Santos City, which is a city of about 700,000 people. It's a major tuna processing city there in the far south of Mindanao. We can see vision of a fast food restaurant, for example, that's collapsed, other vision of buildings that appear to have been damaged. There's also a school in the area which appears to have sustained some structural damage as well. There also appears to be some damage as far sort of northeast of that to Davao City, which is the main city on the southern Philippines island of Mindanao as well. But local officials are, of course, conducting those assessments as we speak. There's been power and telecommunications outages as well in some of these regions. Now, we did hear from Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. He says that the national government is responding. We've also heard from the Department of Education that says that classes in all levels in that southern Philippines island are going to be suspended at this stage. Now, here in Indonesia as well, we have heard some reports of people, of course, feeling that earthquake in North Sulawesi and Manado. So, it appears to have had quite a significant impact, Kath.
And what about the tsunami warnings? Have any been issued? What areas could potentially be impacted?
Yeah, perhaps unsurprisingly, that tsunami warning does cover quite a large swath of Southeast Asia. Of course, Philippines is the area of most concern. There's evacuations taking part in the southern part of Mindanao, of course, but there's been tsunami warnings that have also been issued for here in Indonesia. The north there in North Sulawesi in particular will be most of concern, but those tsunami warnings have also been issued for Malaysia. So we do know that evacuations are taking place in the south of the Philippines now. At this stage, there are also aftershocks that are still being felt by residents there. So still quite early days, Kath, as we're trying to figure out exactly what this impact has been, but certainly the region's on quite high alert.
Certainly a big deal. A big deal happening there. Let me just read an article really quick to give you more details. This occurred at 7:37 local time there, so about just after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night. So it is still very much a developing story. Bunch coming out about it. Trying to get all the up to minute stuff. I fell asleep as it was breaking yesterday, so I was getting bits and pieces, a bunch of short videos and not much more. So let's start with an article. Seems to make the most sense here. I think this is be the BBC. There we go, right, ja. All right, allow me to read this to you really quickly. Headline reads: At least 19 dead and 134 injured in powerful Philippine earthquake. I have a sneaking suspicion that this number will raise quite a bit. Let's see. At least 19 dead after major earthquake off southern Philippines. At least 19 people have died after a magnitude 7.8. And that I'm getting conflicting reports there. Some people were saying 8.0. There's quite a difference between the two. In any case, I'm going to play it safe and go with the 7.8. So I believe this is a more conservative estimate. Struck off southern Philippines, according to civil defense officials. The earthquake struck off the southern island of Mindanao. At least 134 people have been injured. According to the civil defense official office spokesperson, these numbers have to be finally verified by the National Disaster Risk Management Council. The quake triggered tsunami warnings in the Philippines, Indonesia, and Japan. Limited waves ranging from a few centimeters to 1.4 meters or 4.6 feet were later observed. Australia, New Zealand also issued tsunami warnings excuse me, after the quake struck, but lifted them soon after. There's some pretty dramatic videos of buildings collapsing and whatnot. The quake coincided with the start of a new school year in the Philippines. Classes in quake-hit areas have been suspended. Philippine President Bongbong Marcos, that's Marcos' junior, the city of General Santos, near the earthquake's epicenter, is known as the country's tuna capital. If you don't know, this took place in the Pacific Ring of Fire, so it's not abnormal to have an earthquake, but this was quite an earthquake. Evacuation and relief efforts are underway. President Marcos says the government will not leave Mindanao behind, while the Philippine Red Cross is on its highest alert. Let's see here. The death toll from the earthquake has risen to 19, according to the spokesperson of the Philippine Civil Defense Office. The fatalities will still need to be verified and validated by the disaster agency, they cautioned. There's 7 people missing. The spokesperson said the number of injured stands at 134. Let's see. Affected areas. The earthquake happened in one of the Philippines' most seismically active regions, according to government scientists. The affected provinces face the Cotabato Trench. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that. I've never heard of that before. A major earthquake generating structure, according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. The trench is capable of generating minor to great earthquakes. This morning, a subduction occurred along the trench. This happens when a tectonic plate slides beneath another plate. Earthquake also caused damage in Indonesia. The earthquake was felt in Indonesia's North Sulawesi province, more than 124 miles from the epicenter. And then, of course, here's some photographs. People tending to the seniors there. Not the best construction, as you can imagine, in the Philippines. The old construction's not so great, but the newer construction's actually retrofitted for earthquakes and storms. So essentially, it's a mix of really old buildings with a bunch of newer buildings. Let's see. The FCDO issues safety guidance in quake-hit parts of the Philippines. The UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office has issued a guidance to the Mindanao region after the earthquake. If you're in the affected area, follow the advice of local authorities. and avoid damaged buildings. Well, I think that goes without saying, huh? If you're planning to travel a minute now, contact your travel provider for updates and ensure travel insurance covers natural disasters. Not a good time to travel. Let's see, the death toll. Okay, so this keeps going up. So now the death toll stands at 15. According to the Civil Defense Officer Rodrigo Sosmania, 12 of the fatalities were reported in, I'm not going to say that name, a region spanning 4 provinces and 1 city. At least 129 people were injured in the region, he added. And of course, more building collapse. As you can see, it's just an absolute nightmare. Get this a little bigger for you guys. There we go. Let me just quickly say hello to you guys. Terrible story. Let me get some background music for us. And I do plan on doing the roast of Crack B later today. I may have to postpone that again because I've got something going on today, but we'll see. Definitely want to get back from my drama crowd. It's really, it's really what people want around here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. There we go. That seems like a good level. Oops. It says the earthquake struck as the new school year began. Videos posted on social media shows young students screaming in fear as the ground shook violently. Teachers were seen hugging children and trying to keep them calm. Buildings have collapsed and the casualties are feared after a 7.8 magnitude earthquake off the Philippine southern tip at 7:37 on Monday. Let's see here. A lot of this is redundant. Okay, now the Philippines. Tsunami waves, the tsunami waves have been recorded in 6 areas of Mindanao, according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. The affected areas are mostly along Mindanao's southern coast. The waves were observed between 7:42 to 8:45 local time. The highest of the recorded waves measured 1.4 meters, which is 4.6 feet. The tsunami warning for the Philippines remains in place. I'm not sure if that's still the case. Let's see. Since the initial magnitude 7.8 struck the Philippines southern coast, 138 aftershocks have been recorded as of 11 local time. According to the Philippines Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, the magnitude of these aftershocks range from 1.3 to 6.7. Really, 6.7 is a hugely significant earthquake in and of itself, and just as an aftershock. Ooh. Okay, so basically, this is just going back to the beginning of this story. Okay, so that's enough of that one. Give me 1 second. Morning, Georgia Peach. What's going on, Tinker? Good to see you. TLC is me. Tennis ball Teme. Queen Moomin says, I'm sorry this is happening, Sinner. I've always admired the fact that you keep your life private. I do. The fact is, there's this group of ladies that call themselves a grand gang. They're all grossly overweight, unhealthy, mentally. They just don't have much of a life. I don't know. So much more on that later. I'm not going to give them what they want. At least, not the way they want it. Specifically Nanya, she seems to have been obsessed with me for years. As many of you know, this is off topic of the earthquake, but many of you know that a few years ago she started a channel, and she used to be besties with QB, and then she left, and they basically used this big-headed bitch used me as a scapegoat for 2 years. 2 years she was impersonating QB's lawyer, and QB was blaming me, and she just sat quietly and pretended that, she wasn't the source of the problem. A real nasty person, Big purple-headed woman. So we'll probably be roasting Nanya tonight with QB. They both have big, ugly heads and cam slips, so, I don't know. I imagine Nanya's husband's a lot like Elevated Truth's wife, just terrified to wake up in the morning. What's up, Joe? Good to see you. White Lotus, good to see you. Top of the morning to you. I was in an earthquake once. It was only 4.7. It was scary enough. Couldn't imagine. I felt a couple little ones when I was in California. The largest earthquake I've ever felt was at Mount Fuji. And that was pretty terrifying, considering, I was just a kid away from home for the first time. And I'm at the base of Mount Fuji. It's an earthquake, or it's a volcano. The last thing you want is an earthquake. But I'm going to try to find more up-to-the-minute information here. If you give me 1 second. I know, like I said, there's tons of videos that pertain to this. A lot of it is just oof. And a lot of the best videos are not in English. So give me 1 second. Here, this video is dramatic, but it gives you a great idea of how things look there in the moment. Mondays are hard. No, they're not. I love Mondays. Actually, since I'm self-employed, every day is like a Saturday or Monday, depending on what my mood is. What's up, Rod? Good to see you. Did you get tsunami warnings over there, my friend? All right, let me swap this out real quickly. All right, so there's not much dialogue in this video, but it does give you an idea of what it looked like there on the ground. I don't believe that this story is in English, so we'll do our best with it. So far, the best footage of the situation, obviously, like they said, school's back in session, so the panic of teachers attempting to calm the children. Rod says, we rarely have earthquake here. I just saw that one of your coasts was under warning for tsunami, although I think that was just an abundance of caution. Yeah, if you've never felt an earthquake, it's difficult to explain to somebody how it feels, because even if you look at a video of it, it doesn't do it justice. It's a very strange feeling. It does, at least the ones that I felt, it almost feels like everything is on sand. It feels like the ground becomes liquid. It's the strangest feeling in the world. Terrifying, terrifying.
Bantay mo, anak. Bantay mo diyan, eh. Lingkod lang, lingkod lang.
Isami.
Yes, very true. Joe says you hear the ground rumbling before it hits. Yes, it's almost like a truck down the road spilled over and a bunch of heavy things hit the ground. That's a great way to describe it. A rumble.
Let's pray, everyone. Pray, everyone. Let's pray, everyone. Our Father, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
All right, I'm just gonna skip ahead because it's all a bit gratuitous here. Not sure why they would have these blurred out. I've been seeing this a lot with the footage. I don't understand exactly why this signage would be blurred out. It must have something to do with their media. I don't understand it. I tried to find out. I just don't know.
Grade 1, please.
All right, that's a little tough to listen to. I got a minute. I'm not sure I'm getting much from this video. I'd be scary as hell. Yes, me too. Good to see all the kids following the drills, staying safe. Man, I hope so. Let's see. Let me swap this out really quickly with let's see. Oh, my computer's got a mind of its own. Huh, and interesting. All the videos that I saved to watch later are just not here. So give me 1 second. Did I save it to a different playlist? Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Bear with me for 1 second, guys. I'm having this strange thing occur. Um, every time I try to start a video or pause it, it just keeps running no matter what I do to press pause. So bear with me. I'm gonna swap this out with a clearer video. It seems like this video I just pulled up, they're just looping. Let's see, here we go. This should give us a better idea. At least clearer video here.
It's earthquake, guys.
Bata ba? Bata sa highway ba?
Siya wala ko
Lino, kusukan, oh my God. Lino, guys.
Sugoy.
Sug kayo, bay. Oh my God, nagbuto-buto na. Oh my gosh. Uy! Lord, wala, nagbuto-buto na. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God.
And as I've already stated, this is not uncommon. This is the Pacific Ring of Fire. Earthquakes are commonplace for these people. But this was, just to give you some historical context, this is the biggest earthquake that they've sustained since 1990. So this is a huge deal. And I think that's why reports are slow coming in. I'm sure many areas are, power outages, buildings collapsed. But it seems as though the Filipino government is doing everything that they can to get a handle on it. Let's see the epicenter. Let's see the quake struck offshore, and it was an incredibly shallow earthquake. That's to say, if it's deeper, if the epicenter is deeper in the Earth's surface, then there's more absorption from the structure of the Earth as well as the buildings. But if it's higher up, closer to the surface, then there's almost no buffer between, to protect from the violent shaking and, more physical effects being felt instantaneously. For lack of better words, it's a nightmare. Let's see here. Authorities are currently reporting that at least 32 confirmed deaths, over 130 injuries, and at least 7 people at this point still missing. There was a landslide as a result of this earthquake. A significant portion of the casualties occurred in the mountainous town of Glan, where a major earthquake triggered landslides, killing 13 villagers. So we see that the death toll already, the loss of life, is 32 confirmed. Well, 13 of those resulted in a landslide in a very small mountainous village. The port city of General Santos, population 700,000, was hit extremely hard. Several commercial buildings, convenience stores, and part of a university have collapsed or sustained severe damage. Extensive cracks have shut down key highways and bridges. Power, water, and internet service remain down. We're talking over 1 million people in the city. Man, my heart really goes out to them. This is just terrible. Tsunami impact. The quake generated tsunami waves between 3 to 5 feet that hit nearby coast. Not too much damage from what I'm understanding in that way, but it does definitely put a stress on the situation. Tsunami warnings forced the evacuation of roughly 10,000 families from the coastal areas across the Philippines and parts of Indonesia. The broader Pacific tsunami threat has since passed. The region is still highly active. Seismologists have recorded over 130 aftershocks so far, including one that reached 6.5, which is in and of itself very, a violent earthquake, complicating rescue efforts and risking further collapse of weakened buildings. Rescue operations are well underway, but this is going to take some time. Obviously, nobody's expecting this, but also we have the silver lining here is the Philippines are sort of built for this type of thing. Earthquakes are nothing new to them. I think almost a daily occurrence being on such an active fault line. But please keep in mind, this is nothing to scoff at, as this is the largest earthquake they sustained since 1990. I mean, active rescues in General Santos emergency responders are digging through heavy debris in the city's commercial district. Multiple people are reported trapped, and several large structures have collapsed, including a building housing the Jollibee restaurant. And I do have footage of the Jollibee restaurant. It's a lot.
Hello, mga bata! Oh my God, this is not okay! Hala! Lord! Lord! Lang silang lang!
Mga bata.
Hala, mga bata!
Saan yung motor?
Wilper, Fred!
Pero masang bata.
Perma daw sa Fred! Iyang anak! Kusog kayo! Na, first day of school pag yun! Mga bata, kusog kayo yun, as in.
I do apologize. It is a different language. It's a different country, but I'm sure the humans over here or wherever you are can look at these humans and see that they're like, what the fuck is going on? What are we doing? What should we do? It's just... Oh.
Hala, dugaya na humanoy. Ay, kayo na human yun, pasin. Buto-buto ko ng mga kan.
Transformer.
Transformer.
Sa pusti ba? Sa pusti.
Wala yun.
Uga, uy. Nay, pinakakusog ato ba? Grabe. Wala silang lang.
There was also an eruption of a volcano in Japan, but no injuries sustained there. Just the local area is just basically in a cloud of debris from the volcano. We'll look at that here in a couple minutes.
Kayo siya as in. Hey kayo, napa o?
Sa kwan, sa... Sige, ito nga, kwan, napalibutan siya kung bundok, diba nga, nibuto sa ilalong sa tubig.
Oh, nagito, kusog dyan kayo siya. Kusog dyan kayo as in.
I am pretty disheartened. That I'm not able to find much up to the minute news. Much of what I found was from last night. I'm not seeing much of an update to anything, but some really crazy footage coming in. It is interesting to see that it just instinctually everyone's like, all right, let's get out of this structure and go stand in the street, which is, that fight or flight instinct that we have as humans. The unfortunate truth of this, the infrastructure was buckling under the strain at, triage under pressure. The medical infrastructure is buckling under the strain. St. Elizabeth Hospital in General Santos sustained several severe structural damage, forcing personnel to evacuate patients and conduct emergency triage and operations outside in the open air. Now, there is a video of that. I don't think there's any real value in showing that. It seems exploitive, but just so you guys know, the Philippine Red Cross is actively assisting on the ground. The biggest threat to the rescue team right now is the sheer volume of seismic activity. Over 130 aftershocks have been recorded. Obviously, if you have search and rescue workers digging through the rubble of a building and things aren't settled, well, that can be an absolutely treacherous situation, as you can imagine. So everyone's moving forward with trepidation and great care. One of these aftershocks included a massive 6.5 magnitude tremor. Like I said, that's by itself a structure damaging level of an earthquake. These secondary quakes threaten to collapse already compromised buildings onto responders. Furthermore, deep cracks in the major highways and collapsed bridges, such as the bridge in Banga, B-A-N-G-A, are making it incredibly difficult to move heavy evacuation equipment into the hardest hit areas. The response is currently being spearheaded by the Philippine military, including the 1002nd Infantry Brigade and National Disaster Agencies. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. You know the name Marcos if you're of a certain age. Well, that was his dad. Has ordered the rapid clearing of routes to the activation of Marcos has ordered the rapid clearing of routes and activation of evacuation centers to house more than 10,000 displaced families. 10,000 displaced families, most families there have 4 or 5 people in it. You do the math. It's a lot of people, a lot of stress on the resources. Because we are still within the critical first 24 hours of the disaster, the operation is entirely a localized rapid response search and rescue mission. Foreign governments and international organizations, including the U.S. Embassy, which is fully operational and tracking the event, are actively monitoring the situation. They are standing by for the Philippine government to complete its initial structure assessments and issue formal requests for specific international aid. So yeah, of course, everyone's alerted. Everyone's working this morning to figure out what they can do. Let me show you here one more. Oops. I do have some videos. I'm just looking. There are so many, and they're all just like short videos. Very, very just wish there was more information. That's what I can say about it. It's incredibly frustrating looking and not finding the good stuff. Well, good stuff isn't the right way to put it, but I guess there's little information. They're still digging. Let's see. What is this one here? Well, somebody made a 5-hour video just to loop it. I want to show you this guy with his family. He seems pretty laid back about it. Obviously, an American there with his family. This guy, check him out. See, I wouldn't be up on the balcony like him. I'd be down on the ground. Let's see. This is a first-hand account for the situation, I suppose. Let's see.
So you can see all of our neighbors are outside and our family's outside here because we just had our first earthquake in the Philippines for the summer. Yay! There are actual several daily. We're in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Just some of them you feel, some of them you don't. But we just had one that was 6.7, and it affected Philippines. We're in the southern Philippines. It affected Indonesia, Malaysia,
and he said 6.7. We now know is 7.8. Some reports are saying 8.0. We know quite well that media outlets typically, try to hype those numbers. It's a dirty business, but they do it anyways, just for headlines. Most of us don't know the difference between 7.8 and 8.0 anyways.
Papua, however you say that, a tiny island nation. So hey, it's more fun in the Philippines.
Okay, bud. I thought there would be more to that. I do apologize. Give me one sec. Man. Get out of here. And we're going to move on to some less tragic news, but important in any case. So give me 1 second. I'm going to look one more time to see if there's a legitimate source here for video for us. And that's another obstacle here. I'm trying to find videos that are in English, and that's posing a bit of a problem. Let's see, what are you guys saying in chat? Thanks again for being here, guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. CNIT B4, welcome in. Chicana Army Brat, good morning, dear. Queen Moomin. Adam Purser 548. Bunch of new names this morning. I'm glad you guys can join us. Thanks for being here. All right, 1 second. How far is the Philippines from Japan? I don't know the exact mileage. I mean, I was wondering too if the earthquake and the volcano erupting, but it turns out there's always earthquakes, and this volcano in Japan is always quite active. It's almost like people just go about their business, you know. But from capital to capital, from Manila to Tokyo, it's roughly 1,860 miles. So quite a distance. I mean, pretty extreme distance anyways. About 4-hour plane ride, if that makes any sense. Well, here comes the train. You have to bear with me while I deal with the train noise. Pause for the cause. I'll just stay unmuted so you can hear the glory of the morning train. So loud. Choo-choo, mofo. Okay, bear with me as I scan through here. I do have a story about the Pope is out on the move too, competing with Bad Bunny for viewers at a live event. I think that's pretty funny. Boy, if that doesn't tell you what you need to know. The Pope battling with Bad Bunny for people to watch. All right. I'm trying to look here. Okay, so this is something that they keep looping over and over again. This one specific restaurant collapsing. I believe there was a radio station that sat above it as well. I can talk about it, or I can show you.
A 7.8 magnitude earthquake just struck off the southern coast of the Philippines.
And I'm sorry for the AI slop voice. It's almost impossible to avoid these days. I specifically look for videos that aren't AI voiced, but it seems like, especially out of this part of the world, it's almost impossible to find a regular video. It should be noted that cell service and internet connectivity are completely knocked out in several neighboring areas, severely limiting coordination and contact. So some of the rescue workers have satellite communication. The next couple of days are going to be a big problem for them. I can say that much.
Significant damage has been reported in the southern part of the country. Now, the U.S. Geological Survey says the earthquake was about 35 kilometers deep, or about 22 miles. The Philippines Institute for Volcanology and Seismology has urged people in the southern part of the country to evacuate away from coastlines, as the tsunamis could reach between 1 and 3 meters above the tide. Indonesia also issued tsunami.
Yes, please take any of the numbers that I just read to you in the way of injuries and loss of life with a bag of salt, because reports are still coming in. There's no internet or cell phone service, so I don't think we're gonna have a full picture of what we're looking at here for even hours still to come. But we're gonna stay on it for sure.
Tsunami warnings for its northern coastline. Power outages are also reported. A 7.8 magnitude earthquake.
Lupin, bear with me. And I tell you what, YouTube can be really annoying when you're trying to navigate it. It just freezes up, slows down. Let's see, what do we got here? All right, I'll show this one to you guys. Joe said another news outlet said 35. Yeah, I'm sure that number is going to be. I hate to even put a number. I have no idea.
Ano na yung tao dito? Ako.
On Monday, June 8th, a powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Mindanao in the southern Philippines. The quake, which occurred at 7:37 a.m. local time at a depth of 20 miles, caused extensive damage to buildings, triggered tsunami waves, and sparked panic across the region. Philippine officials reported in their latest statements that 15...
And just know that a lot of this, reporting, or even whatever this AI voice is, specifically showing you this just because it has more visual references. A lot of the story is just going to be redundant. We only know so much so far.
People lost their lives in the earthquake, while 129 others were injured. The epicenter of the earthquake was determined to be approximately 20 miles southwest of the town of Masim in Sarangani province. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, 5 OSCs, and the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, measured the earthquake's magnitude at 7.8. This was the strongest earthquake to hit the Philippines in 2026.
I mean, it says it's the biggest earthquake to hit this year. In fact, it was the largest earthquake to hit the Philippines since 1990. That's many years ago. I mean, Kurt Cobain was still alive. Pearl Jam was a new band. That's how long ago. That gives you some indication of how severe this actually is.
Lord! 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 Why, Lord!
The area hardest hit.
There is some encouraging things, as we know that the Philippines take their nursing programs very seriously, so there are a bunch of helpers there, and that's a good thing. Far more so than here in the U.S. It's a cultural tradition to serve as nurses in the Philippines. It would be pretty hard pressed to go into any hospital in the world and not find at least a handful of nurses from the Philippines. It's just what they do. It's centuries of this.
By the earthquake was General Santos, a southern port city with a population of over 700,000. A seismic intensity of 7 was recorded in the city, and numerous structures sustained significant damage. Among the damaged buildings were a 3-story commercial building housing a restaurant and a radio station.
Well, this is not the restaurant above or below the radio station. That was a different one. They're just kind of putting stock footage here.
Parts of a shopping mall and a building belonging to Notre Dame of Dadiangas University. Videos shared on social media showed that a shopping mall in...
This is the collapse of the restaurant with the radio station above it. It wasn't a McDonald's, but also a McDonald's collapsed.
General Santos, which also...
In fact, McDonald's is not a restaurant. McDonald's is a real estate company. In fact, McDonald's owns more real estate than any other company in the world.
Housed a Jollibee fast food restaurant had been reduced to a pile of rubble. The majority of the fatalities occurred in the Sox-Sargon region. Rodrigo Sosmeña, director of the local civil defense office, stated that 12 of the deaths were reported in this region, which includes South Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, Sarangani, and General Santos City.
Okay, so I can't stand the AI voice, so let me just show you some firsthand reports from the ground there. This is a Filipino journalist describing his firsthand account. And as you can see behind him is that the radio station with the restaurant that collapsed below it.
This quake hit around 7:30 this morning, and what was it like?
Good afternoon. It's afternoon here in in General Santos City. I was at the General Santos City Police Office camp. During the time, I was with the City Police Director of the General Santos City Police Office when it happened.
And what was it? How violently was the earth moving when it hit, or were you in a building and you had to run outside?
I was inside the building because it was after the event. It was after the flag raising ceremony of the Philippine National Police. We were with a counselor from the local government, and we were chatting, and eventually it was very unreal. It was the first time I have experienced a lot of earthquakes in my lifetime, but this one is very surreal.
Were you concerned the building that you were in at that time would collapse?
Fortunately, the building that I was in didn't collapse, but buildings near us, some of them really collapsed.
Yeah. So tell us about that building behind you.
Yeah, this one is one of the buildings who got collapsed after the very violent earthquake. This is a three-story commercial building in downtown Jensen, General Santos City. The structure completely pancaked during the initial earthquake. It housed a very popular fast food chain, which is Jollibee. Yeah, on the ground floor, and it also holds a radio station on the upper level when the earthquake struck at 7:37 a.m. in the morning.
And do police think that everyone got out of that building safely?
Right after the incident, the city police director of General Santos City Police immediately rushed to the place, and also checked out on the around 13 to 15.
Hey, good morning, Michelle 420. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. And thank you, Justina, for the Cash App. I appreciate that. Thank you.
15 members of the crew of the fast food chain.
And how many other buildings have you noticed have collapsed around the city? Are there many others that have fallen?
There are big super malls in General Santos City, which most of them got greatly damaged. One of them is one of the most popular is the SM Super Mall, and other supermarkets and grocery stores. It's around more or less 10 structures or big structures have been collapsed after this very massive earthquake.
And what's the latest on the death toll as far as you know?
Please keep in mind that any kind of tolls in the way of loss of life, take it all with a grain of salt, because it's a very dynamic situation.
As far as I know, initial reports confirmed that at least 15 fatalities and 129 injuries have been reported across Mindanao, and 7 people were still missing, with the majority of casualties reported in Soxargen, and some of it are in Davao Occidental.
And Justine, how long have you lived in General Santos City or in that general area, and are you used to earthquakes?
I was born and raised here, and since time immemorial, since I was a kid, I already experienced a lot of earthquakes here, but this one is very surreal. Yeah.
And how strong have the aftershocks been?
It's like aftershocks were...
Lucky Michelle 420. Michelle says, I have never experienced an earthquake. Well, you're not missing anything. It's terrifying.
magnitude of aftershocks were around 6.8, 6.5, and the last one is 5.5. So aftershocks are still strong.
Yeah. And we've seen some video of children returning to school and some school buildings being affected. There must have been many parents concerned about their children.
And if you're just coming in, I did mention that this was the return of, or the beginning of a new school season, 7:30 in the morning. So many parents were taking their children or just dropped their children off at school.
Yeah, because unfortunately, it's the first day of school here in the Philippines. It's the first day of school from vacation. Yeah, from summer.
Yeah.
So every children in the public schools in the country is already at school by that time, or there's a
Michelle says, I know this is kind of off topic, but my boyfriend read something that we're supposed to lose gravity for 30 seconds. That's never going to happen.
ongoing flag ceremony because it's around 7:30.
Is there optimism, though, that the death toll
But if it does happen, I'll enjoy it. That doesn't sound realistic. I mean, to me, to lose gravity, I mean, what would have to occur for that to happen? Many terrible things. And if that were to happen, it wouldn't just last 30 seconds. It would be the end of our planet.
not climb much higher?
Hopefully, the Office of the Civil Defense is hoping that the death toll won't increase drastically. But we are praying that this is not gonna increase in the coming hours or days.
And Justine, what's it like for you as a local after being through this morning and going home tonight? And are you going to be like sleeping in your home?
You could just tell that this man's mind is racing. He's like, his head is on a swivel here. I can't say I blame him.
Or sleeping somewhere outside?
It's very traumatic. Since I am living in a 2-story building, so
Michelle, I am, like, I must admit, my interest is piqued. So if you can get your hands on whatever he read, email it to me. I would love to read it. I just thought, come on.
got very anxious and probably will be sleeping downstairs tonight.
Yeah. Okay, hopefully not too many more aftershocks. Justine Jublang, thanks so much for talking to us from General Santos City.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bear with me with the train here, guys. I'll just leave it unmuted. Busy day. I think you guys might hear why I'm a morning person. You can't. Once the trains start running in the morning, there's no rolling back over and going to sleep in my crib, dude. It's just who needs an alarm clock whenever you've got a train track 18 inches from your kitchen window? Good morning, Ramona. Good to see you, my dear. All right, we're going to switch it up here, move on to another story. Yesterday marked 100 days at war with Iran. Yep, the United States is still at war with Iran, and overnight, all hell broke loose. My opinion is we need to bring all of the U.S. troops back to the United States as soon as today, because there's absolutely no purpose for this war. It's a waste of money. It's a sacrifice of military lives, and it's all for absolutely nothing except our pedo president has dementia. So there's that. Right now, he's waking up with a full diaper, just like YouTubers in Galesburg, if you know what I'm saying. If you know, you know. So let me get rid of this quickly. Let me get back. Let's do that. Bing bong. All right, bear with me. So just a quick report on this. Iran took to launching missiles at Israel overnight. That's the war that's happening. In fact, that's how we got dragged into this war, is our government's alliance with the Israeli government to commit genocide in the Middle East. It's actually really terrible. $100 billion has been spent in the last 100 days. Can't imagine what else we could have used that money for. Also, fun fact, the United States has depleted about 70% of their missile stockpile, which means if there is an actual war that we have to tend to, we're out of ammunition in that way. Terrifying, right? I thought so too. So this is the CBS News. Let me just get this in a position that's better for you. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go.
The already fragile ceasefire in the Middle East. Iran has fired multiple waves of missiles at northern Israel. The strikes.
Bear with me. I'm going to go back just a hair. Okay, so this is the beginning.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this Sunday. Tonight, a dangerous turn threatening the already fragile ceasefire in the Middle East. Iran has fired multiple waves of missiles.
Completely propaganda. There is no ceasefire if buildings are being bombed. It's just a ridiculous media thing that they're doing. It's, what's up, IML? Good morning, dear. Stop this war. Exactly. I mean, it's not our war. I don't know what kind of weird, unholy alliance our president has with the Israeli government, but it has to stop because it doesn't represent us. We didn't vote for this war. In fact, the way the president underwent this starting of this war, he basically found a loophole in the Constitution. He was able to do it, but he was only given 30 days, and here we are, 3 times as long as that, and the American people are just sitting on their hands. The government is basically hijacked by a bunch of demons, pedo demons. So it's all about money. Our current president doesn't give a shit if our service members live, as he's so detached. The guy is absolutely useless. Actually, it's worse than that. He's a bad character.
At northern Israel, the strikes lighting up the night sky and sending people rushing to shelter. Most of the missiles appear, though, to have been intercepted. And this video is from Kermanshah, Iran, close to the border with Iraq. People in the streets cheering with the missiles flying overhead.
As you can see, like everyone that's trying to push this narrative that the Iranian people want the United States to save them, it's just propaganda. It's just propaganda. We saw the same thing in Venezuela. This is the Iranian people celebrating missiles being launched from their country at Israel. And I tell you what, it's hard to be mad at them because Israel is essentially trying to take their country over to fulfill some type of biblical prophecy. It's just as bizarre as you would imagine.
Part, Iran is demanding Israel stop its attacks on Lebanon. Those strikes intensifying this weekend. CBS's Charlie D'Agata is in Tel Aviv and leads us off tonight. Charlie.
Good evening, Jerika. For the first time since the ceasefire went into effect in April, Iran has launched missiles toward Israel tonight, largely contained to the north, but the situation is on a knife edge here across Israel. The Iranian retaliation tonight came after Israeli forces bombed suspected Hezbollah strongholds in southern Beirut, and that's just days after President Trump said he managed to rein in.
So Iran is launching missiles at Israel. Israel has a great missile defense system. Meanwhile, Israel's bombing Lebanon. So this idea of a ceasefire being maintained, there's never been a ceasefire. The Strait of Hormuz still closed. No progress. An absolute quagmire. Our service members don't know why they're there, and we should be making more noise to just bring them home. This is not our fight.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from bombing the Lebanese.
Also, as a direct result of what Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli leader, is up to by trying to fulfill this biblical prophecy, it's putting in danger at least 50,000 American service members in the immediate area. And then that goes without even speaking about the dozens of U.S. Strongholds and bases in the area. They're all targets now. Of course, Iran doesn't have the capability to lob any munitions at the United States itself, but of course they are very close to lots of points of interest for us. In my heart, most importantly, service members on a base. It's as terrifying as you can imagine. And this is all for nothing. It's not for oil. It's not because Iran had nuclear weapons, as they do not and have not had nuclear weapons. But what they're attempting to do now is work with China to obtain a nuclear weapon. It wasn't in their plans, but what their goal is to obtain one and then say, okay, now we've got it, back off. So it seems like a terrible plan all the way around.
Capital. So we traveled to northern Israel today with Israeli soldiers right to the border with Lebanon, where troops have been pushing deeper into that region in order to establish a sort of buffer zone there. So residents that we spoke to said despite any promise of a ceasefire, they're still coming under rocket and drone attacks.
It's an insult to everyone's intelligence saying that there's a fragile ceasefire as buildings are being bombed. You can't have both at the same time. There's no such thing as dry water.
Every day. So Iran had threatened a swift retaliation, Jerika, warning residents of Israel to watch the skies tonight and saying that U.S. bases in the region had become legitimate targets after these new Israeli airstrikes.
And they most certainly have.
Charlie D'Agata in Tel Aviv, thank you. Now to the White House reaction on what is...
Okay. Meanwhile, our president with a full diaper is going to an NBA playoff game. And let me tell you, absolutely having to increase the security 1,000% at Madison Square Garden. New York City has canceled the outdoor viewing things that they've been doing, which typically thousands of people show up to enjoy watching the game for free outside of the stadium. So they've canceled that completely because of security concerns. Obviously, the country's at war, and our president shouldn't be going to attend a basketball game in a room that nobody wants him in. It's an ego flex. He's senile, and he's not going to make it through the end of his term.
100 days of this conflict with Iran. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi has been traveling with the president this weekend in Bridgewater, New Jersey. Olivia, what more do you know?
Hey, good morning, Diesel's mom. Thanks so much for being here. And everyone, please hit the thumbs up. Thanks again for being here. If you do like this morning news program, consider becoming a member. If you're not into that, just please hit the thumbs up and share this out. We'll be here Monday through Friday, weekdays, 7 a.m.
Good evening, Jerika. President Trump told several outlets he is asking Israel not to retaliate against those Iranian strikes, hopeful that he can somehow preserve this very fragile
Yeah, sure.
ceasefire.
We're very close to having a deal, and if we don't have a deal, we'll do it one way or the other. Either way, we win.
This guy's a piece of shit.
While President Trump tells NBC News that a deal to end the war is near, U.S. Central Command says it shot down 2 Iranian drones that were threatening.
Does anybody seem like this war is as near its end, or is this guy? Does this guy not even know who he is or what's going on?
Ships in the Strait of Hormuz on Saturday. More than 50,000 U.S. troops remain in the region, and President Trump says he won't consider bringing them home until a deal is reached.
I think we'll keep.
Do you understand how this is a problem? This out of touch orange pedo is like, no, I'm going to leave them there because my dick is so small and I have to prove a point. It's absolutely pathetic. I don't understand why Americans are just sitting on their hands. This is our problem, man. I understand why the world looks at us the way they do, but this man is our problem. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Because it seems like people are looking at it with entertainment, but now ballistic missiles are flying. I think maybe we should pay closer attention. I think that's what we should do. But too many of us are stuck online talking about a stranger's infants being gassy. So that's what we're dealing with here. What's priority here? I don't know. I guess that's to each individual.
There until such time as we have a completion, and when we have a completion, you will see things.
Completion. What does that even mean? This guy's an idiot. This guy's unfit for his job. This guy's a slumlord essentially running a country.
Like you've never seen.
The war is testing President Trump's support. One of his key 2024 campaign promises was that he would not start another endless war.
They said he will start.
Oh, you guys remember that? You do remember that. I do. Remember America First, Make America Great Again? Yeah. This man made America a target again.
War. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
Did you break that promise to the American people?
No. I had to stop.
I don't know if you're going to show it, but this is an interview from yesterday afternoon as well, where this bitch-ass motherfucker just basically stormed off because he wasn't getting softball questions. This journalist, she crushes it. She's like, nah, man, you can't. You said you weren't going to start wars, and here you are saying you're not going to bring them home until something is ended. Well, what? He doesn't even have a goalpost.
A country, very powerful, very dangerous country, from having a nuclear weapon.
But the costs to Americans are still at.
There is no nuclear weapon. There never was a nuclear weapon. That's a lie. Quite frankly, I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. It's just a lie.
Up. Moody's Analytics estimates that the Iran war has cost Americans about $100 billion, or nearly $750 per household.
Yes, gas prices are down, but it still cost $70 to fill my car this morning, which is twice what it was last summer. That's what voters are talking about.
President Trump is spending the night at his New Jersey golf club and not returning to Washington. That's because tomorrow he's going to attend Game 3 of the NBA Finals.
I mean, how insulted should we be that this man is talking about imaginary ceasefire, full diaper the whole time? Like there's just, he's just going to go enjoy a game tonight instead of tending to the war that he started or that he invested in. He invested our money and our lives in a war, and it's so important to him that he's going to go watch a basketball game. Here's a fun fact. Nobody at the New York Knicks want him there. He's going to get booed. It's going to be a big distraction. New York hasn't had a championship team in a very long time. And let me tell you, if this guy goes to this game and New York win or loses after winning the first 2 games of the NBA Finals, oh, man. New York City hates this President Trump, and I think the rest of us should as well. At least those with brains in our head. Oh, thanks so much, Michelle. 420 gifted a membership, and that went, I'm here for it. It went to, I'm here for it, 967. Welcome in, I'm here for it. And thanks again, Michelle, 420.
At Madison Square Garden. Jerika?
Yeah, heavy security there at Madison Square Garden. Olivia Rinaldi, thank you.
I'm going to show you more of that here. Give me 1 second here. There are a couple stories about the president attending the game. And if this doesn't make you mad, pretty much nothing will, especially if you're an American. This is embarrassing and ridiculous. And not only, I mean, he's having a birthday party where he's having a bunch of oiled up men wrestle in front of him. That's interesting. But also, none of this should be taking place during wartime. We take a different posture during wartime. I think what we have to do first is admit the fact that it's a war. They're calling it a police action, but all these other weird things. They said the same thing about Vietnam, and we all know that story. Good morning, Sam Brown. Good to see you. I'm an hour behind in the stream, but praying for the Philippines. Yes, please do. We're going to keep tabs on that. I just wish there was more information. I can see now that there's more information coming in, but I think reporting on it any more than I have today would sort of just become redundant. But we are going to stay on top of this and do updates on it all through the week to see. Undoubtedly, the loss of life numbers are going to go up. I just pray that they're able to get some basic infrastructure going, because at this point, the water plants are shut down. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no internet. There's no electricity. Emergency services are all obviously going to be strained to the max. So they will need all the prayers that they can get. So let's try to give it to them, huh? Let's see. Some interesting things that the people on the street. Here's the president when asked about, hey, I can't get this YouTube. So I'll have to do it a different way here. Bear with me. Let me swap this out. And we are going to look at a mass shooting that occurred in Ohio as well. But let me show you this first. This is Trump speaking to the Americans that can't afford an $8,000 ticket to go see the Knicks. I wonder if he's even being charged. And Again, more indication that this man is so out of touch and so out of his mind that something must be done. I don't know what Americans are doing. I know what I'm doing. Hold on, let me do it this way.
I wanted to ask you.
Did you get a chance to watch Game 1 of the NBA Finals? What'd you think?
I did. Well, I'll be going to Game 3. I guess it's Game 3 on Monday. I thought it was amazing. I think the Knicks have an amazing team. The way they played started off slow, and
I mean, this man's watching basketball. This guy's watching basketball. This guy's going to go to the Madison Square Garden for a game. We're at war right now. And overnight, all hell broke loose. And this guy's like, oh, I'm going to go watch the game. It's very beautiful. It's the best game. Like, dude. Yes, exactly, Ramona White. Impeach this man immediately. Well, I mean, once he's out of office, he's going to be sued into oblivion for being a warmongering pedophile. So, I mean, I guess do everything you can to avoid that fact, huh, Donnie? Like, go to a game. It doesn't make any sense. It puts not only that, but it puts his physical it puts him in physical danger going to such an event. It makes no sense. For obvious reasons, political leaders don't attend events like this while there's active war. We have enemies. We have a whole country of enemies. It's I don't even know what it is. Yeah, sorry, Ramona White. It's I don't like his face or hearing his voice either, but we have to talk about this. It's so bizarre.
And it just got stronger and stronger. Wemby looks like he's going to be a great player, but they really played well, I thought.
Quick follow-up. Did you see Wemby crossing his arms during the U.S. national anthem? Did you have any thoughts on that?
I did not see that. Is that what he did?
He did, yes.
What did he mean by that?
Nobody asked him.
Well, I guess you have to ask him.
Well, who's your favorite Nick?
Well, Brunson's fantastic. Towns is...
You get the idea. I mean,
It's fantastic. They just have a great team.
What do you think that the game you're going to, the cheapest price for the Game 3 you're going to is $8,000? Everyday Americans can't afford these sports.
Well, I know, but they can watch it on television. It's sort of semi-free to watch it on television, but that's the way life goes. You have some, and now if the team wasn't a big success, you could go very easily. So you can do that too, but that's the way life is. They've had great success, and don't forget they've suffered also losses, and they've suffered during the bad time. Now they have a good time. They have a team that's.
This guy's just a fucking asshole, man. Excuse my language, but there's no nice way to put that, man. There just isn't. There just isn't. The guy's a big asshole. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to show you more about what New York City people are saying about this guy. Man, bear with me while I pull up this video. There was a man on the street interviewed from this one YouTube channel. I found it interesting. Here we go, right here. This is a YouTube channel called Harry Stisson. Young little whippersnapper, interested in politics. He has a lot to say about Trump going to this basketball game while we're at war. Remember that? War. I've never seen any president act so un-American in my entire life.
At Game 3 of the NBA Finals tomorrow between the Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs, because Donald Trump has once again tried to make a good thing that people are excited about all about himself. He is attending Game 3 of the NBA Finals, which really is ruining the experience for fans in New York City. Madison Square Garden has more security, people are being asked to show up 2 hours in advance, and parties are being canceled, all because one narcissistic lunatic who hasn't attended a Knicks game in decades and also is best friends with Jeffrey Epstein decided to attend a game and make it all about him.
I'm not sure that he was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, but he was in the top 3. For sure. Spoke daily.
himself. He announced that he's doing this. He just said, you don't have any say. I'm going no matter what, which in my view is really going to ruin the vibe. And the New York Knicks have already addressed the security concerns and what people are going to be needing to do if they're going to the game with Donald Trump attending. They put out this statement, which really is just a slap in the face of fans who want to go, saying a strict no bag policy will be in effect and fans should make every effort to limit personal items to an absolute minimum. Fans should expect.
Hey, good morning. Hey, Jude. How you doing? It's good to see you, my dear. Hope you're well. And if I missed anybody, I do apologize. I think I get everybody. Troopers and Iris Mom is in the house. I didn't say hello to you yet. Thanks for being here. Yarva Bjarnson, Team Strickland, and Mitchell. Okay, I see you. Let's see. I think I said hello to everyone. If I didn't, I do apologize. I do my best. I had a devil of a time getting my Wi-Fi going this morning. I don't know what was going on. I woke up and I'd set everything up as normal, and I look over at the router and it's just red lights flashing. I'm like, oh no. So if you're just coming in, this is our asshole president here in the United States during wartime decided it's a good idea to have a publicity stunt and go to a basketball game at Madison Square Garden, essentially putting an incredible crunch on the authorities that have to keep him safe. It's almost like he's tempting people.
Enhanced security measures when entering Madison Square Garden, including TSA-style screening procedures, all because Donald Trump wants to go to this game. Guests are strongly encouraged to arrive at least 2 hours before tip-off.
I do think somebody says it in here, like if I'm paying $15,000 for a ticket and this asshole shows up and distracts everyone, I tell you what, if the Knicks lose tonight, oh, I love New York, and New Yorkers are not people you want to fuck with. I'll tell you that much.
Off to allow additional time for screening and entry, fans are encouraged to review the complete list of prohibited items before arriving. Now look, I've been to Madison Square Garden for a number of different events. It is chaos every single night. It is chaos without Donald Trump there, without any high-profile politician or somebody that has the Secret Service there. With Donald Trump there, the sitting president of the United States.
Yarva Bjarnson says Trump mafioso family, in my opinion. Well, that's the thing. The mafiosos actually have a code of ethics and a framework of morals that they work within. This orange pedophile, he doesn't give a shit about anything. Listen, man, his son just got married 2 weeks ago. He didn't go to the wedding because he cited we're at war. He doesn't have time for that. But he does have time to leave D.C. and go to a basketball game and and just come on, man. Come on. It makes no sense. I don't know who's running this country, but they need to check this man.
It's going to be even more chaos. And in addition to this, the new NYPD has officially canceled the incredibly popular watch party outside MSG for Game 3 of the NBA Finals Monday night due to Donald Trump attending.
And, living and being from a city that takes their sports very seriously, oftentimes there's overflow. I mean, more demand for tickets than seats available inside of the venue. So oftentimes the city will sponsor a projector to be set up outside and, fucking show everybody the game. People, bring their own food and drinks and hang out and watch the game. Well, that's been canceled completely. Well, they said they're going to move it somewhere. We'll move it to Brooklyn or we'll move it somewhere else. But it's tonight. So if everybody already had plans to go there, their plans are ruined.
They canceled it because Trump is going to be there. You might have seen videos of these watch parties outside of MSG, and the vibe is so good. People are so excited. There's so much love and joy in these crowds. It really is a highlight for so many New Yorkers who may be struggling otherwise, but they get to look forward to the Knicks and going to the watch party, and Trump is having it shut down. According to the New York Times, there will be no watch party outside MSG on Monday, the NYPD said in a statement released Sunday afternoon. Quote, this decision to prohibit watch parties outside of Madison Square Garden was made in coordination with the Secret Service.
Maybe it's difficult to understand how important sports are to some people. I know some people just don't get it or think it's a waste of time. But to give you any indication, the Knicks haven't won a championship since 1973 when they beat the Lakers 4-1 in the finals. 1973, I wasn't even born yet.
There will be watch parties at other locations. We are currently determining where they will be. Apparently, there's rumors of it being in Brooklyn or in Central Park and areas like that, but no watch parties outside of Madison Square Garden because of Donald Trump. And quite frankly, I don't know what Donald Trump is expecting. Is he expecting to go to the game and get a good reception? This is what happened last time people gathered outside of Trump Tower on Fifth Ave in New York.
I'm so emboldened and proud of all of these people. I think that in every major American city, we should be protesting what is happening, this unjust war, this illegal war from a warmonger who's just lobbing missiles to cover up the fact that he diddled children on an island. That's it. It's not even more complicated than that. Aside from being taken advantage of by an evil dictator type person with the Israeli government. Now, a lot of people get these two things confused. It's like, oh, you hate the Israeli government, then you must be anti-Semitic. No, that's not at all. That would be like a country hating all Americans because Trump is a piece of shit. That's not how these things work. Intelligent people know how to separate the two things because the Jewish people, even if they support this, are also victims in this because they're being lied to by their government leaders. Also, Benjamin Netanyahu is going to be persecuted for dozens, if not hundreds, of war crimes, and he will not be convicted or even tried until the war is over. So he stands to benefit by the war continuing as long as possible. The longer the war, the longer that any kind of accountability will take place. His plan is to just continue war forever. And boy, he hooked the U.S. into it like a big sucker. Like a big stinking sucker because our president is a useless sack of shit. And I'm so happy I'm able to say that because I do enjoy my First Amendment right here in the United States of America. It's ridiculous. More people should be focused on this.
Thousands of Americans gathered outside of Trump Tower, where I believe like Melania and Barron kind of live decently often. Thousands of Americans.
Thank you so much, Chicano Army Brat. I appreciate you.
Americans and New Yorkers gathered outside of Trump Tower saying, New York hates you, because New York does hate Donald Trump, and Knicks fans are furious that he's attending. MS Now did some street interviews with people, asking them.
This is pretty funny. And like I said, these people just won a championship, man. The last thing they want to deal with is this asshole coming and sitting courtside. It's so offensive.
What do they think about Donald Trump going? And you can already see the reaction is not great.
Hey, let him come. We're gonna boo the out of you, bro. Like, let him come.
As a Knicks fan, we don't want the distraction. We're taking it one game at a time. It's 0-0. We want the win. We're focused on basketball and nothing more.
And that's also a good point. Like, why the distraction? The Knicks are on a 2-0 run in the finals. They won 2 games on the road, which I don't really think anybody predicted in the first place. And Donald Trump decides to insert himself, claiming he loves the team, trying to ruin the vibe, trying to ruin the energy. He's just such a narcissistic, self-centered loser. Here's some more street interviews they did. One guy in here is like, yeah, go Trump. But everybody else, you know, you can imagine what New Yorkers actually think about him.
Trump may be coming to one of the NBA finals games next week.
Hopefully he doesn't. New York's been suffering long enough without a championship. He can stay out and we can maybe get through this one without any bad luck.
Honestly, that gets me very excited. I think that President Trump attending one of the games is huge for New York and United States.
Look at this meathead. Look at this meathead. You just, come on, dude. Unfortunately, New Jersey isn't too far from New York City, so you get guys like this wearing a New York shirt that he bought at a bodega with a Statue of Liberty on it. Let me just say, this is not what local New Yorkers would wear. If you're wearing a game jersey, sure, but whatever this is, nah.
As a whole, let's go Trump.
Yeah, so I just feel like right now, like you can see behind us, like the energy's just really happy, lively. New York is alive. Like energy's really up there, and I just feel like if he comes, it's gonna be really.
Good morning, Nanny Sharon. Good morning, Shayna B. Good to see you, friends. I hope you're doing well.
Strange, like it's gonna be a big downer. Like New York is filled with such diversity, and a lot of the stuff that he doesn't stand for is here. So why is he coming here?
I don't honestly have a positive or negative correlation to it, but I think it would be pretty funny. I think they get a lot of laughs out of people.
Hey, let him come.
Poor guy got put on the spot and he just made up a word, correlation.
We're gonna boo the out of you, bro. Like, let him come.
As a Knicks fan,
I love that guy. I had to include him one more time. By the way, this guy, let's go back here. This guy, somebody commented that he eats mayonnaise.
It does look like he eats mayonnaise, dude. Yeah, man. He probably comes from sensible parents and he just loves Trump to be rebellious, man. We got a real problem in this country. We got a real problem in America, dude. We do.
He eats mayonnaise. That's what he looks like. He also is definitely not a real New Yorker. He's not actually from New York. He's probably a tourist. I mean, he's wearing like a New York shirt in New York City. You don't do that in New York City. Most people, I think, know that. Not this guy. But yeah, of course, he's the only guy in the video that's like, yeah, go Trump. But on the flip side of it, people are really angry. Knicks fans are really, really pissed off. New York Knicks fans are furious that Trump's attendance is causing major disruptions ahead of Game 3 of the NBA Finals. These are just some of the comments on a Knick post informing fans they will need to arrive at least 2 hours before the game because of his attendance. And look at some of this stuff. Bruh, ban that geriatric man from the Garden. Regardless of who it is, this is ridiculous. Why should the rest of us have to suffer because of one person's decision?
I agree with so many of these commenters. Like, why are you trying to come and ruin this day when you should be in the war room fighting a war?
To go. The president's values are not consistent with the athletes of the Knicks. Can we bring eggs? People are asking. If I spent $15K on a ticket, there isn't a chance in hell I'd take my shoes off to go through security. Wow, this is going to be a mess. Why can't we have nice things? Why can't we have nice things?
I was curious why he said I would take my shoes off, because the Madison Square Garden said that they were going to instill a TSA type checkpoint to get into the building. But even TSA has stopped making you take your shoes off at the airport. So that guy's being a little bit hyperbolic.
Things. This person saying, bro, we don't want him there, literally ruin the vibe. How about not inviting him to the Garden? If we lose Monday night, this will be why. I think actually, like, if the New York Knicks do lose after going up 2-0, and they do lose at the game that Donald Trump is attending, I really do think all...
Look, I'm not trying to prescribe importance to a game. It's just a game. But I understand why New Yorkers are passionate in this moment. But I think even if it wasn't a game, if our president was doing anything this afternoon other than tending to the war, trying to fight tooth and nail for a ceasefire to protect American interests and lives all around Iran on various military bases, nah, he's going to go to a place that he's going to go to a party that he wasn't invited to, isn't wanted at, to distract himself, I suppose. I don't know. We need to enact the 25th Amendment and just get this man out of office. Unfortunately, then who takes over? I don't know. I don't have a solution. Assholes with Chromebooks sitting in Pittsburgh typically don't have the answer, but discuss amongst yourself, I suppose.
All of the United States, and especially New Yorkers, should blame Donald Trump for that loss. And all these other people saying, yeah, we do not want him here. Nobody wants Donald Trump to go to the NBA Finals. Here's more saying, hope they boo him to hell and act a fool while doing it. I hope they do too. I hope
they boo him out of there. Unfortunately, it's still going to be a distraction from the game if that's the case.
Donald Trump gets more boos than ever before at a sporting event, inconveniencing fans because a rapist, pedophile, war criminal who hasn't been to an NBA game this century wants to be the center of...
That's exactly what the president is. If you don't know, he has been convicted and found guilty of rape as well, so that's fun. I mean, I guess the upside of that is it was an adult, ? It makes no difference. It's unbelievable. This man does not represent you or I or the United States in any way. We've been hijacked by a slumlord who likes little kids, dude.
Of attention. That's a good way to put it. Or this one, when NBC pans the camera to Donald Trump and there's nothing but boos louder than Hulk Hogan turning heel at Bash at the Beach, it might be an all-time clip. It certainly will be, and we will certainly talk about it on the show. Knicks fans waited their whole life for this moment just for it to be ruined by a terrible individual. Absolutely right. And of course, there are some MAGA weirdos who are posting like AI videos of Donald Trump at the game.
MAGA weirdos for sure. Racist, stupid, and ignorant.
For example, this. It's just so weird how weird these MAGA fans are. But, you know, Like they're posting.
You know it's fake because his wife is smiling. Yep. Yeah, this lady right here, his wife, she used to be a prostitute for Jeffrey Epstein, an escort, if you will. That's how he met her. Sure enough. A mail order bride, essentially, is what she is.
AI images. This is just disgusting. Like they're such freaks. They're just such freaks.
And she doesn't even live in the White House. Like every first lady lives in the White House. Not her. She's in New York City where she's been since the 1980s, living her best life.
They're happy about this. And if you go to the Instagram page where the Knicks put out this statement and just look at the comments, there's not a single positive one so far that I've seen. People saying, not the orange and blue we were expecting. Yeah, it's over. He just cost us the series. Why invite him? Expecting a chant about the files to greet that Cheeto file pull through.
Cheeto file. That's funny. Tip-off is at 8:30 this evening. The San Antonio Spurs versus the New York Knicks. The Knicks are up 2-0 in the series.
The Knicks are about to lose all of their momentum. Bro can go to the Knicks game, but not his son's wedding. There's so many negative comments about Donald Trump going. It's just such a middle finger to the fans, and yet he is insistent that he goes to Game 3 of the NBA Finals. So we will see. I'm rooting for the Knicks as a New Yorker, and I want them to win always. But Donald Trump just ruining the vibe is just gross. So look, I will leave the video there. I just wanted to bring your attention to all of this stuff because it's happening right now as we speak. Please make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we will talk soon.
We're going to switch gears completely right now. Overnight in Ohio, or late yesterday afternoon in Ohio, there was a mass shooting. I want to show you that. It's tragic. Just a heads up, some of this footage is triggering. I did kind of look ahead to make sure that there was nothing too extremely graphic, and whereas I can't promise you, I'm pretty sure that there's nothing graphic in the videos I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to play it as safe as possible. And this shooting took place at the Old West End Festival, so it was a community festival in which violence broke out. Here, what I'll do is I'll read it to you first here, and then I'll show you a video. Give me 1 sec to swap this out. A lot going on this morning. The world is in chaos, and our president's going to a game. Hey, good times, man. Let's see. This one here. All right, let me read this to you. All right. At least 12 people shot at, oh God, it's pop-up nightmare town here. I might not be able to use this article. I'm going to try, though. Oh, excuse the lawnmower noise. The neighbors are up and at it. At least 12 people shot at Ohio Street Festival. Suspects remain at large. Toledo, Ohio. At least 12 people were wounded as gunfire erupted Saturday near a busy street festival in Ohio. Some people at the event in Toledo scrambled for cover while others rushed to help the victims. No suspects were in custody, and that's still the case this morning. No suspects were in custody hours afterward, Toledo Deputy Chief Joe Hefferman said. He said it appears that at least 2 people fired weapons, and they were probably shooting at each other. Well, isn't that typically the case? The shooting happened near Old West End Festival, an annual 2-day celebration in Toledo's historic district that includes live music, food vendors, home tours, and shopping. The remainder of the festival was canceled. Well, of course, the organizers said it would not be compassionate, responsible, or possible to continue. We are heartbroken, and those who were injured at the Old West End Festival, the festival said in the statement. 2 of the victims were in critical condition, Hefferman added. The ages of the victims ranged from 14 to 61, with most of them in their early 20s. I am deeply concerned about the situation in Toledo tonight. Let me just make sure I'm not muted because I have a terrible habit of doing that. Oh, what is this? What is on the screen right here? These pop-ups are really something special. Okay, you guys can't see me. No, I'm not advertising boots. I hate use. This is why I just like to use YouTube videos, man, because this is ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Let's see. Summer festivals should be safe places for families to spend time together without fear of violence. Officials urge people who were at the festival to come forward with any photos or videos. Multiple videos posted on social media show people running amid the sounds of gunshots and emergency officials tending to others who appeared wounded. Fire Chief Allison Armstrong said it was difficult to get to the hospital due to closed roads and traffic from people leaving the festival, but emergency responders were able to transport all patients from the scene within an hour, which an hour is a long time, but dealing with the circumstances and the logistical problems, I'm going to say pretty good. Kevin Barry was sitting in the neighborhood arboretum listening to loud music with friends when he heard a handful of gunshots ring out. Everybody hit the deck. When Barry looked up, he saw a gun being tossed to the ground less than 50 feet away from him. Officers were already on site at the festival, responded immediately. Barry, who has medical training and served in the Navy, awesome, walked around looking for anyone who might need help and saw at least 5 people with gunshot wounds. The folks who were hit spread around the arboretum area. George Crawl, the city's safety director, said Old West End Festival is one of the most iconic festivals in Toledo. I'm not too familiar with that. So that's that. Let me just pull up a video for you to give you an idea of what it looked like. This is ABC News that I'll be sharing here. Bear with me. Obviously, the manhunt is still underway. I'm checking for updates as I play this video as well. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Interested in the world and what's going on. These are far more important than anybody's drama here. And I just want to note again, sorry, Nanya, there's no time for you this morning. Maybe I'll get to you later this afternoon. Another thirsty woman out there, I swear. I thought this one was married. In any case, the urgent manhunt continues here.
This morning, the urgent manhunt after a mass shooting near a crowded summer festival in Ohio.
The town said there's going to be multiple people shot.
Toledo police say what appeared to be a gunfight between at least 2 shooters left around a dozen injured in the crossfire Saturday evening.
We've got 2 patients. Anyone have any more?
Hundreds running for safety at the 53rd annual Old West End Festival in the city's historic district.
It happened very quickly, but it also stopped pretty quickly as there was a lot of officers that were right there.
Police officers seen applying medical aid to the injured awaiting EMS.
We've seen this exact scenario many times. The assailant standing right next to police officers. I mean, obviously it's a city-sponsored event, so there's going to be plenty of authority figures there to keep tabs on everything, to make sure people aren't walking around with drinks, things like that. So just imagine how brazen an assailant must be if they know that the cops are there, but they still don't care. From what it looks like for me, from reading all these articles that I read last night, it looks like it was just 2 dudes in their 20s representing different groups of people ran into each other, and it was instantaneous. It is madness. We're collectively losing our mind.
There was quite a few people that needed help, and it's a crazy sight to see.
The victims ranging in age from just 14 years old to 61, mostly in their early 20s, at least 2 suffering critical injuries.
I've been to a lot of scenes, but this is way over the top.
Investigators now pleading with the hundreds of attendees to comb through their cell phones for any footage or photos that could identify the suspects.
What happened today is not a reflection of what our city is and what we stand for.
Overnight festival organizers canceling the rest of the event, saying we feel it would not be compassionate, responsible, or possible to continue the festival. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine saying that summer festivals should be safe spaces for families, not scenes of violence.
Yeah, it's just terrifying.
I think that that goes without saying, right? I don't think, what do you say? Duh. Of course it should be a safe place. Unfortunately, it's not. That's the problem. Let me see if I can find the press conference for that. Or double check to see if there was a press conference this morning. I don't believe there was yet this morning. Let's see. So again, this was a suburb of Toledo. Okay, so we'll listen to the official press conference. I think there is value in this. Let me just find a good source. Okay, so this is a local Toledo boy, let me just make sure. Okay, so this is the one I want to show you. 12 people shot, 2 in critical condition. Amazingly enough, all the shots fired into a crowd. I don't believe anyone has succumbed to their injuries, although please don't hold me to that. Like I said, there's still a bunch of people in the hospital, so the condition of each of them individually is often kept private amongst the family until there's something more solid. They're trying to stabilize them. So, all right, let me see. Oops, let me just share this with you. So this is the press conference out of Toledo, and this was yesterday evening, quite late.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Sergeant Muhammad Ali Nasser. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Toledo Police.
Did he say my name was Muhammad Ali Nasser? What a great name this man has.
I'm Sergeant Muhammad Ali Nasser. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Toledo Police Department. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our Deputy Chief, Joseph Heffernan, to give you guys a quick update. What's going on?
Yes, I mean, great point, Rod. It says hell be on body cams from law enforcement attendant Shirley. Yes. Also, you could see it, a lot of the footage. Seconds after it, everyone has their cell phones out. So collecting data from this situation, hopefully a lot of people come forward so they can really get good footage to figure out who their suspects are. At this point, I mean, how did they get away? I guess I can't second guess the authorities there. I wasn't there. Nobody expects something like this to happen, but there should be a plan. It seemed like that they tended to the situation as quickly as possible, but I guess it's hard to, I don't know.
Sir.
Thanks, Mo. Thanks, everybody, for coming out today. We had some unfortunate incident happen here in Toledo at about 5:37 p.m. We got a report of some shots fired near our Old West End Festival, which is a festival we have every year. Officers were quick to respond. They were right there when the shots were coming out. Appears as though there was at least 2 shooters. I think they were probably shooting at each other, and it ended up happening.
I think that's a pretty safe assumption. Also, really weird verbiage, don't you think? Like, you don't often hear them just flat out say they were probably shooting at each other. Do they know that for sure? It's confusing.
12 people were struck with bullets. That's what we have right now. 2 of them critical. We're processing the scene. We do have.
Please disregard where it says 8 people. We now know it's up to 12, as he just said.
Some evidence, and we're following up on some leads. It's pretty active.
No, Rod, the gunman is not deceased. Actually, both of the gunmen are still on the run. They got away from the scene somehow. I would love to know how, but who am I to second guess? I don't know.
Right now, as far as the investigative part of this goes, the scene itself is secured. Matter of fact, I think we're just about breaking down the scene right now, as far as the initial processing. Does anybody have any questions?
Do we have suspects in custody?
No suspects in custody right now.
I mean, he really didn't want to answer that question. I can't say I blame him. It's like, well, what?
Still very early in the investigative process.
Do you have persons of interest that you're looking for specifically?
I might turn this over to our investigative lieutenant, Lieutenant Dan Gherkin. He can probably answer some of those more specific questions as far as the investigation goes.
Yeah, as the deputy chief said, it's real early in the investigation, right? So it's been 3 hours. We're talking to multiple people, including victims, witnesses. We're reviewing camera footage. We're doing a whole lot of stuff that I can't sit here and tell you everything that we have or what we're going to have, because I don't know what we're going to have. All right. So
obviously it's secondary to, any festival or party or anything like that. But you also have to consider the potentially tens of thousands of dollars that local vendors stand to lose as they were prepared to have, another full day of a festival and sell their goods. I realize that's not priority, but at the same time, it's a big hit for the community, even separate from the violence and the potential loss of life.
We're way early in this for the questions about what we have or who we want caught. All right, I'm going to tell you, I'm feeling good about where we're at right now, but we're going to need the community's help when the time comes.
I believe he did say Lieutenant Dan. That's funny. I didn't catch that.
A bunch of people were out there that can probably help us with our investigation. We'll take all the information there is. All right, but as far as who we're looking for, what we've collected, and all that so far,
You just pray that someone gives a tip. If it's their brother, or cousin, or friend, boyfriend, almost undoubtedly someone will snitch. I just hope it happens sooner than later. Obviously, a couple of really out of control, violent people.
that's for another time. All right. The main thing is here is if you have information, you send it to the police department so we can follow up on it.
So nothing in terms of a general description or anything like that?
No, not as of yet. No.
Of the 12 people hurt, either one of them one of the gunmen by chance?
At this moment, I don't believe so. At least
They didn't even shoot each other. Come on, dude. I don't know how I could just imagine, the fog of war. You hear gunshots. You're there with your girlfriend or your family. You just hit the ground. You cover your head and you hit the ground. It's human instinct. So in those moments, I suppose if someone had their wits about them, even if they were the assailant of this type of crime, if they're able to stay focused, maybe you could just run away. I don't know. I don't want to say there's any lack of heroes there in Toledo, because I know that's not true. You could never speak to why people act the way they do. Maybe they'll tell us more. Let's listen.
that information hasn't been relayed to me. I think I would know that at this point, but right now I don't believe so.
Has the festival seen violence like this before?
I've been around the police department. We all have for a long time within the city. As far as violence, this is over the top, right? So 12 people being shot. That's the most I've been to a scene. I've been to a lot of scenes, but this is way over the top.
And I know it's still early, but do you have any age ranges of the victims?
I'm going to tell you, the oldest person I talked to was 61, and the youngest one I talked to was 14.
Do you think a lot of them are teenagers in that 14 range?
As far as who were shot, I'm going to tell you that was pretty young. I'm going to tell you most everybody, the multiple people that I talked to, I would say, if you want an average, I'd say early 20s.
And they started shooting like around the crowd, like in the thick of the crowd.
Yeah, again, we are at the mercy of the evidence and the video that we're collecting, so we're going to try to be able to figure that out, and we'll be able to tell you once we review all that. We collected it a couple hours ago. We got people going through it. I can't really tell you exactly where everybody is. There'll be a time for that.
And just for accuracy, you said the oldest was 61.
Correct.
You seem relatively positive. How?
What do you mean?
I'm
feeling good where we're at as far as what we've collected so far, and my detectives and.
The guy said, "Oh, you're obviously feeling positive." This man's like, positive? I'm sorry, maybe you misunderstood what I was saying here. 12 people were shot. There's no positivity here. He merely said he's feeling good about the investigation, which is, maybe the journalist was right. How could you be feeling good about this investigation if you haven't even named the two suspects yet? So I do understand the journalist. I also just some of these journalists just they're just grimy. They just want some shock.
Sergeants and the other people, the police department are doing their jobs. So yeah,
how confident are you that you'll be able to?
Yes, troopers, I'm going to show that. That's included in my stories for today. Something more lighthearted, but what a video. If you guys don't know, a whole truck worth of fireworks exploded on a Tennessee highway. It's quite the show.
To apprehend these two.
Well, I bet you if we get help from the community, it'll be hopefully sooner than later. But again, it's been 3 hours.
So you're asking for, I'm guessing, video, anything?
Video, information. Talk to your kids. There's kids out there that probably know more than all of us standing here, right? So if they can help us out, that'd be great.
What security measures were in place?
It's absolutely not snitching if you turn in a violent assailant in your own neighborhood. It's not. It's just not,
Prior to the shooting happening?
It's way past my...
I can talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. We had extra officers on duty today for the festival, plus there was a large contingency of off-duty officers that were working for the festival itself. We had our mobile security cameras that go right into our real-time crime center active. So there is a lot of evidence. It's just a matter of going through a lot of that evidence. It happened very quickly. But it also stopped pretty quickly, as there was a lot of officers that were right there.
And just from officials, being that this was supposed to...
I don't know. I don't know. He says it started quickly, ended quickly because there were so many officers there. Well, then how did they get away? That's the $1 million question right now. Obviously, these guys are eating crow. They must be embarrassed. I don't know. Hopefully there's more of an answer as we go along today. Like I said, I'm going to be updating all of these stories throughout the week. Hopefully we have some resolution. And please keep the victims in your prayers. 12 of them, 2 of them by last count still in critical condition. But as we know in these cases, we hear critical condition and we assume the worst. Oftentimes these updates, their conditions are updated to become stable, and then and so on and so forth. Let's pray for that.
To be a day of jubilation and fun, to be spoiled by something like this. Any message to the community or?
Well, yeah, it's just a shame. When a few people.
Oh wow, Wise Angel! I'm going to write that down and look it up. Good morning, Wise Angel. By the way.
For whatever reasons,
let me read Wise Angel's comment. It says the kid on the e-motorbike local to me who knocked down and killed an old lady last year is having his pathetic sentence reviewed. The CPS weren't happy with the sentence the judge gave him. The 7 years he got would mean he would be out in 3 years. That's just insane. That's insane. I don't know this story, but I'll look it up, and maybe we'll have a look at it later this week. Maybe tomorrow.
Going through their head, decide to disrupt something that has been a beloved community event for many, many, many years. We had the security in place just so that something like this wouldn't happen, and unfortunately, best laid plans, it happened anyway. But those are things that we have to kind of do when we're going to dissect what happened and who was responsible, and certainly the motives are going to be one of them. Why would somebody do something like this? It's just it's horrible.
And summer's just getting started. Is there anything you want to say to people who may come to different events with not the right intentions?
Well, I would say that I think everybody has to treat people like they would like to be treated. And if we have some people out there, some groups of young people that are thinking that this is exciting, it's not. This is a perfect example, of how when bullets start flying, they can go anywhere. They can strike anybody. So I know that we're going to be out there. We've already made some plans to do some community outreach, especially with the juveniles in this city, to do some more community policing and outreach to them about violence and the consequences of violence like this. Who's next? Councilman?
At this time, we'll introduce Safety Director George Kroll, the City of Toledo.
Thank you, Sergeant. I am George Kroll. I'm the Director of Public Safety for the city and former police chief here. I'm representing Mayor Kepsikevich, who is...
Okay, let's just, not to make light of the situation, but we have to find the silver linings here. One of the guys' names was Muhammad Ali. One of the guys' names was Lieutenant Dan. And then what was this man's name again?
I am George Kroll. I'm the Director of...
Oh, Kroll. I thought he said George Carlin. I was like, this can't be. This can't be. I apologize.
Of Public Safety for the city and former police chief here. I'm representing Mayor Kepsikevich, who is out of town right now. I'm going to echo what Lieutenant Gherkin and Deputy...
Yes, please do, Wise Angel. I'd love to look at that.
Chief Heffernan was saying regarding the need for public input. There were several hundred people there tonight, and everybody has one of these. I know in my heart that footage is out.
You can understand this man's frustration. There are people, but he knows for a fact that there were people because the authorities are now scouring social media for vantage points from all these different cell phones. Everyone needs to just do the right thing. You could probably just email them your clip to show them, and they can use it to analyze the situation and further their investigation. Obviously, in this country, in America, there's a distrust between authority figures and the citizens, with great reason, but also some things transcend that. If there's an active shooter or a violent person in your neighborhood, that means you're at risk. You have to set aside your distrust with authorities and do what you can to prohibit these people from having another shootout tonight.
There. So I am imploring my fellow Toledoans to look through your cell phone video and reach out to TPD and help them catch the people who did this. This is one of the most iconic festivals in Toledo, and it's a shame that something...
As we go through the week, I will get official donation links, of course, for the great people of the Philippines who endured that earthquake overnight and in digging out of rubble. I will also include links to any kind of fundraisers given by these families. A lot of people are going to be in need, as you can imagine.
Like this had to ruin it. So please, I know there's information out there. Please help us help you.
And just to go on that point, what you said about people kind of combing through their footage and seeing what they can find. What about people who may be worried that if they step forward, about...
We have mechanisms in place to make sure that those people are safe. We have Crime Stopper that is completely anonymous. I challenge anyone who resides in this city that does not have a friend who is a Toledo police officer and can reach out and have those one-on-one conversations. If someone is worried about their personal safety, we can take care of that.
And sorry if this is a dumb question, but will the festival go on tomorrow or did it end today?
That is not a dumb question at all. We are in discussions with them right now. We are going to talk with the festival leadership with our...
It has since been canceled.
With Toledo Police's leadership, and I'm assuming that decision will be made later on tonight.
All right, we have Fire Chief Allison Armstrong with us here today, or tonight. Did anybody have any questions maybe for her related to this incident?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I imagine it was your team that treated the wounded. Can you give us a range?
Both of these stories so far this morning have been very heavy topics. I am going to put some lighter-hearted stories in here to try to take the edge off, try to show a better side of humanity instead of this.
Of wounds or injuries that you treated tonight?
Well, so everything is still being collected. I was on the scene. It was a large scene, over a dozen victims, as the police stated. So
I don't have that specific information, but I can tell you fire and EMS crews responded immediately. They went into the scene once it was secured by Toledo Police, began treating, triaging, and then working on plans to transport those patients. As you can imagine, it was a large festival area, roads are closed, and then people are leaving the scene, which makes it difficult for us to get our rigs in and out. So I also want to mention the Toledo Police Department helped us treat those patients. They applied tourniquets to some of them, and to my best knowledge, 4 to 5 were considered critical, and all the patients were off the scene within an hour, which is pretty impressive given the scope of things and the challenges that the crews faced.
Give us a sense of the logistics you had to overcome to make that happen.
Is very challenging because the festival was already in place. We had a lot.
Sorry, I was muted. I apologize. I'd imagine that they just 1 hour they get all of the victims out of there and hospitalized. I'd assume, and just from seeing so many of these stories, that they would identify those in most urgent need of being transported first, and then they just triage everyone else on the scene. To try to, you can't rush everybody at one time to the hospital. 1 hour, I mean, I would be critical of 60 minutes, but in this type of situation, I think that's probably a bang up job. Remember, this is like the fog of war as you're trying to, these officials and first responders and, just nurses and doctors in the crowd treating people on the scene, a scene where neither one of the two assailants were, apprehended. Just terrifying. I should not be muted now. Sorry about that.
A lot of road closures to begin with, and then there's cars parked everywhere, there's people on golf carts, there's people walking, and so just the ingress and egress out of that area was very, very difficult, and then you had police coming in on top of that, closing more roads. So really that was our biggest challenge.
Just for confirmation, you said more than a dozen. How many people were affected by this today?
At least 13. But we're still collecting information, we're still getting numbers because we treated people on scene, but also sometimes people leave, they hop in cars or they get a ride to the hospital. So I don't have those numbers, TPD would have the exact numbers.
You gotta be proud of.
You can imagine if you got a warrant for your arrest and you got a grazing wound at a festival, you're not going to run towards the authorities and be like, they got me. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going home. That's a whole nother level of terror, in my opinion. Imagine living a life in such a way where you get injured and you can't ask for help because then you get in trouble. Oh,
The response of your officers.
I am very, very proud of the fire and rescue department. Like I said, to get 12, 13, 14 patients off scene in conditions like that in an hour is impressive. They did an amazing job, and kudos to Toledo Police for securing and helping them get that done.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to introduce Councilman John Hobbs with the City of Toledo. Councilman.
Thank you all for being here tonight. First of all, I'm extremely thankful for the response of our first responders, of our fire department, of our police department, of our detectives to move in an environment like they did today with the crowd and everything else was an amazing effort on everyone's part. I also want to say that what happened.
Okay, I have to say, as Beatrice runs across the computer, I have to say that it's this is my least favorite part of any press conference. These officials have not apprehended the assailants. They don't even have a name to give us, yet these guys are patting each other on the back. Like they said, a city council member probably has aspirations for a further political career. It's not a good time for the ass pats, man. I'm not saying they did a bad job, but let's not pretend that they did the best job in the world. Both of the suspects are still on the loose, and they don't have any names. So this is political posturing, and it should have no place in the dissemination of media information to the citizens of this country. It's ridiculous, dude. I hate when they capitalize this way. I don't want to bag on these guys too much, but maybe not pat each other on the back until you at least name a suspect. It's just every single time they have to tell us, oh, we're our partnership with multi-agencies and everything went so well. It's like, okay, well, where are the bad guys at? I mean,
today is not a reflection of what our city is and what we stand for. And so we are hoping that as a community, we will come together and get this solved quickly. There has to be a tone.
Firearms are just simply, undoubtedly, and will always be a part of American culture. It's just what it is. I think it's less of a gun problem and more of a mental illness epidemic that we're encountering here. For lack of better words, we've lost our fucking minds, dude. That's what it is.
That early on, with summer just starting, that this type of behavior will not be tolerated. And if anyone is thinking about doing
this, I hate political people. Why politicize it? Of course, violence, public violence in the streets will not be supported. But it wasn't yesterday either. So I mean, I'm going to do my best with this guy. I don't like him. Like all of this goes without saying.
Behavior will not be tolerated.
It won't be tolerated. It wasn't tolerated yesterday. Like this, it's just insulting to anybody's intellect, man.
And if anyone is thinking about doing something like this, the community is going to respond quickly to put an end to this type of behavior.
Okay, so listen, this politician is not going to put an end to gun violence in Ohio. Well, this is insulting.
So we need everyone that thought they saw something, that had a phone out, that may have been recording something else or looking to check back, and please help the victims of this situation. If it were,
I do wonder if there were anybody out there live streaming. We know it happens just statistically, that many people together, somebody was live. Not that I want to see that footage, but I just urge, and of course, 30 people in here, so I mean, nobody's listening. But if you are someone that was in that area or a family member says they saw something, please do the right thing. It's not snitching if you're protecting your own people, man. It's just not.
Your mom or dad, brother, sister, son, or daughter, you would want an immediate response, and you would want there to be immediate penalties for what has taken place. So put yourself in the place of those families that are in those hospital rooms right now, in the waiting areas. Put yourself in place of parents and seniors or children that might be watching a parent suffer. And ask what you would do to get resolved to this situation. This
is just a couple of minutes longer. We'll hear them out. We'll hear what the rest of what they have to say. And then, of course, like I said, later this week, I'll be following this story. Hopefully in the next, hopefully it'll be breaking news and my phone blows up and says that the suspects were apprehended. That's what we're hoping for. Some accountability. I don't see a solution, though. I'm not even going to try to pretend.
This is the effort and the energy that is needed today, right now. Help our detectives get this taken care of, because we have to set a tone that this will not be tolerated anymore in our city at any.
It wasn't tolerated to begin with, man. Michelle says, this dude, come fix it in Cincinnati, then good luck. Yeah, I know Cincy well. It's a dangerous place depending on what neighborhood you're in.
Event that is yet to come. There's so much planned this summer for our youth, for our concert series, for different things that we have taken place, the 4th of July, all of these, our parades. We need to come out as a community and protect our own and make sure others understand. We will come together, and this will not be acceptable behavior for the rest of this summer, nor any time. Thank you.
I don't mean to be so hard on that guy, but that's politics right there, man. I mean, of course this is unacceptable. Of course the community needs to stick together, but his mind's already on revenue and all these events that are planned later. I'll give it to him. It must be a difficult time as being a city council member there. He's got a lot of questions to answer, and as you know, the mayor runs the city council, and the mayor also runs the police department. So it is all connected. It just terrifies me that politicians are always knee deep in these events, posturing oftentimes for their next election.
Just want to close it out with all you. Thanks for being patient with us. We're just gathering info, and we appreciate your time and you being out here. So thank you.
I like that guy a lot. His name's Muhammad Ali too. How cool is that? His chief called him Mo.
Include that. Could we get the officers that spoke? Could we get your spelling of your names? So we get it right, please.
Oh, sure.
Could you step up to the mic and give us
Good.
It's Deputy Chief Joe.
Okay, we don't need to see that. We're going to move on to something just far more mellow. We're switching gears here completely. It's dark vibes here this morning, too much violence and loss of life. So let's switch it up a little bit. Keep these people in your prayers, and I promise I'll keep you updated as to how these things unfold as the week goes. They could have somebody in custody now, for all we know, just haven't reported. So hopefully that's the case. We're going to switch completely, and we're going to have a look at the Pope traveling the world and the events that are taking place around him, specifically the Pope versus Bad Bunny. No PR stunt, but even an interviewer, as I'll show you, asked the Pope. He was like, "Well, if I had to choose between seeing the Pope and in a pop concert, I'm not sure what I would do." So at least he's a good sport. Thankfully, a lot of people showed up anyways. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I think it's easier for me to just search this way than it is to do it any other way. Let's see. Let's see. This is funny. They're really playing up the like there's beef between Bad Bunny and the Pope. There isn't. Bad Bunny had scheduled concerts there already, so it's not as if. But it is a funny story. I'm just trying to find a video of significance. Most of these are like 30 seconds long. I need more meat on the bone than that. How about this one? This is CBS Mornings from yesterday. Let me just swap these out right quick. And like I said, keep everyone in Toledo in your prayers. Hopefully they get some answers to this. And hopefully everyone that's in the two that are in critical condition, hopefully they recover quickly. There are world-class hospitals there in Ohio, so I'm sure they're getting the best possible care.
Pope Leo has embarked on a week-long visit to Spain. This is the first papal visit to the country in 15 years. Pope Leo will be making 3 stops on his trip. He begins in Madrid today, where he'll make history by addressing the Spanish Parliament this week. He then goes to Barcelona on Tuesday, and then the pontiff will visit.
Yes, indeed. Nanny Sharon nails it. Says it starts at home. Parents need to get back to raising their kids. Also seems like a lot of crimes are from young kids. Exactly. We have crack-headed mothers sitting on the internet all day just neglecting their families. And as a result, there's not just crack-headed mothers in Galesburg, Illinois. It turns out they're in Ohio, and they're in Pennsylvania, and they're in Florida, and they're in every little neighborhood here. Parents have stopped becoming parents, and they've become self-important, I'll say.
The Canary Islands off the African coast, which are a major gateway for migrants. Our Chris Livesay is traveling with the Pope this week.
Good morning. Well, you can expect huge crowds turning out to see Pope Leo. One of the most spectacular stops on this papal trip will no doubt be the Sagrada Familia, the world's tallest church. But don't let the expected crowd.
And the Sagrada Familia is just about finished too. I just looked at a video about that. I think maybe we'll watch that right after this. In fact, it's the world's tallest church. It's incredible. It's made by Gaudi or Gaudi. You guys have heard the term. Oh, that's so gaudy. Well, that's him. And it's just a beautiful cathedral. I'll show it to you. It's just about completed. I'm waiting for a shot where there's no more cranes in the shot. But there's a great article about that. I'll show you.
Crowds fool you. More than 90% of Spaniards identified as Catholic in the 1970s. Today, it's just over half. You can blame a lot of that decline on the clergy sex abuse scandal. The Vatican just announced Pope Leo will meet privately with victims here. Leo will also welcome migrants, a topic close to his heart where he has openly clashed with President Trump. And he'll be trying to reach young people. They've been rapidly leaving the Catholic Church here. As it happens, hundreds of thousands of young people are already descending on Madrid to see someone else. The pop sensation Bad Bunny, here on a worldwide...
What's up, Lunatic Farmer? I'm good, friend. How are you? I'm a little perturbed with some big-headed hoes around YouTube, but I'll get into that later. Me, personally, I'm doing great.
Tour. Now, church officials say a meeting between the Pope and the pop star could happen. We're hearing as soon as this evening, perhaps sharing the same stage, the same pulpit, the same Pope mobile. We don't know. For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Chris Livesay in Madrid.
Chris Livesay? I mean, what a great name. Livesay? Are you kidding me? All right, so give me 1 second. I looked at the video of the Sagrada Familia, and I think it might be a nice break for us, too, to look at some beautiful artistry. I was raised a Catholic, as you know, troubling times, obviously. But before we look at the Familia Sagrada, let's just have a quick look at the historical prayer vigil that the Pope held yesterday. Yes. We get a look at the world famous Pope mobile that came about in the 80s. Pretty cool stuff. Let's see here. And I do understand people's trepidation with religion, and specifically the Catholic Church. It's a strange thing when they try to turn a religious organization into a corporation. I've got big problems with it. But for the most part, I don't know. It's so tarnished by the way that the Catholic Church handled the scandals that they've gone through. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. There's no need to get into that. I hope they're able to clean up the situation. I fear that that's never going to be the case. But this new Pope does seem to be vigilant. He's not just shoveling people around like the popes in the past have. Essentially, just like we do in the U.S. with bad cops. Like if they do something crazy in one town, they can just move over a few towns and continue to work. That's what the case was with the clergy historically with the Catholic Church, and it's a fucking nightmare, to be quite honest with you. Let's see. Rome reports.
Excitement surged among the hundreds of thousands of young people as the Pope mobile arrived. Pope Leo XIV broke from the schedule.
Same here, Lunatic. I'm exactly the same way, but I mean, you know just as well as I do, that becomes difficult at times. If you're a religious person, and even if you're not, I'm sure you can understand this. Having faith has nothing to do with a building or a pope or politics or any of that. If it does, then you're practicing your religion in bad faith.
Program to greet personally many of those who had spent hours waiting for him. This spontaneous gesture transformed the energetic welcome into one of the more touching moments of the Pope's first day in Spain. Once Pope Leo was seated on stage, a group of young people posed questions they'd gathered from their parishes. One of them asked about the mission of young people within the church. This question was posed by Fernando, a newly married young man, to which the Pope responded,
"Felicidades por tu matrimonio, Fernando." Aquí también he visto otras.
Oh, that's cool, Nanny Sharon says. I got up early waiting on my grandson to get here. We're going fishing if the rain lets up. Well, little known secret, fishing is better if it's raining a little bit.
Parejas que se van a casar, felicidades y bendiciones. Porque si antes dije, no tengáis miedo de pensar en una vocación, el matrimonio también es...
I do apologize. Let me translate. There's subtitles on the screen, but if you're just listening. So he said, I have also seen other couples here who are preparing to get married.
Felicidades.
Congratulations and blessings to you all.
Y bendiciones. Porque si antes...
Because if I said earlier, do not be afraid to consider a vocation.
Dije, no tengáis miedo de pensar en una vocación. El matrimonio también es...
Marriage is also a vocation.
Es una vocación. No tengáis miedo del matrimonio.
Do not be afraid of marriage or forming family.
De formar familia.
And of course, I mean, there's no doubt why this Pope is saying this, man. The family units worldwide have been dismantled by current social guidelines. It's families become less important, for lack of better words. I'm trying to be clever with my words here. People don't give a shit about family anymore, or less so than maybe ever. So there is a little bit of narrative and purpose in what this man is doing.
After this spontaneous exchange, he went on to answer Fernando's question about the mission entrusted to young people.
I want to entrust all of you with a mission to be a human.
Enviar a todos vosotros una misión, que seáis humanos.
And I think that's a powerful message that I don't think enough of us are saying, whether it be a pope or your neighbor. We need to focus on being human. This man has also been quite outspoken in the terrors and pitfalls, future dominance of AI in the world. Always urging us to be human is something we need a reminder of. We're essentially like machines now with these communication devices, and we have more in common with our phone than we do our brothers and sisters in our own home. It's a real thing.
Sí, sed humanos, hombres y mujeres de carne y hueso.
Sorry, I should be reading this. Yes, be human, men and women of flesh and blood.
No apariencias.
Not appearances, but trustworthy faces. People who seek justice.
Sino rostros fiables. Personas que buscan la justicia porque tienen hambre.
Because they hunger for it as they do for their daily bread.
Ella, como del pan de cada día. Personas que desean.
People who desire an honest and upright life.
Una vida honesta y recta, porque gustosamente.
Because they willingly do for others what they would want others to do for them. We've heard this before, huh? It's a great message.
Hacen a los demás lo que querrían que los demás hicieran con ellas.
The young people also presented Pope Leo with the Youth Cross, inviting him to sign it so they might have a memento of this historic gathering in Madrid.
It's good to see that the Pope still writes in cursive. It's a lost art.
Then, the most anticipated moment of the evening. 500,000 faithful adoring the Blessed Sacrament. A profound silence.
Queen Moomin says, our priest has been staying at the Vatican for the last 6 months. He was being bullied by old hags in the parish. What the heck? What the hell? I know about being pestered by old hags, dude. Oh, poor guy.
Descended upon one of the busy areas of Madrid. During the time of adoration, the Catholic music group Hakuna accompanied the prayer with their well-known song, You, the Only King, and all those present joined in the singing. The Eucharistic benediction provided the perfect conclusion to an evening filled with joy in Madrid, bringing to a close the first day of this historic apostolic journey.
And there you have that. So we're going to switch gears again. It's great to see that the Pope is being ambassador for morals out there in the world. Strange to come from the Catholic Church, I would admit, but it seems like this particular Pope has a different comes from a different cut of cloth. As you know, he's American and South American, so he could speak English. And the clips that I hear of him speaking English is pretty entertaining. He's a well-spoken man. All right, so we're gonna switch it up completely. We're gonna look at a truck full of fireworks exploding in Tennessee. I know some of you were close to it. Some of you actually emailed me or drove by it and saw it for yourself. Shout out Tennessee. There are still good people down there, despite what these YouTube channels will show you. I tell you what, there's some dirtbags that really misrepresent the great state of Tennessee, man. It's a real problem. But what can we do? What can we do except observe and report? So this is I don't believe anyone was hurt in this story, so it's easier to watch. Give me 1 second. It is quite a show. And the poor guys, I wonder, let's see, can I find a news article, or are they all shorts? It looks like they're all shorts. Yeah, it looks like everything's about 35 seconds in length. I want something more substantial, maybe an update. Let's see. Short videos are I just can't stand them, dude. It's too little information. Let's see. What do we got here? Yeah, it looks like every video is less than a minute long. But anyways, we can get a good look at it. We'll have a look at this guy here, I suppose. And this is, let's see. All right. So hopefully they're able to re-up their fireworks before the 4th of July, or else somebody's holiday is going to be ruined, you know? I love the 4th of July. I'm a sucker for fireworks. My city, Pittsburgh, we have fireworks just to celebrate fireworks sometimes. It's quite a thing. Let's see here. And my city is ramping up to having what might be the biggest firework display in the whole country this year. The 250th anniversary of the founding of America, of the United States. Rocky start. Hopefully we can get things together.
Earlier this evening, a vehicle fire began causing concern on I-75 northbound at mile marker 14.2 with what appeared to be fireworks igniting and exploding from the inside of the vehicle. According to the Chattanooga Fire Department, crews along with the tri-community and law enforcement responded to a vehicle fire just past the Ottawa exit. Fireworks inside the vehicle were reportedly going off as the fire burned. Officials stopped the interstate traffic in both directions, and we heard from a local bystander who says he lives close by and heard the incident from his home.
And it sounded like typical fireworks going off in the area, but then walked outside, seen sulfur plumes coming off Ottawa, Georgetown, so that's where I thought it was at. The truck's was almost fully engulfed in flames for about 5 minutes before they started getting fire hoses lined up.
The fire department tells us that no injuries were reported. As of right now, there are no further details available.
That's the good news. Oh, we're not trying to watch rollerblading from Vice. Sorry. I do have one more video to show you some onlookers over the bridge here, looking down from the freeway overpass. mean, it's quite a show. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The driver probably was like, fuck, 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 and just ran out of there. Who knows what went wrong here? You just never know. When you know, transporting such volatile stuff, did anything go wrong? Who knows if they'll even be able to determine as to what happened. Ramona says, not legal here in Colorado Springs because we're city, but the counties can have them. We have them right in the city. It used to be, as a kid, I'm not sure what year it changed, but we used to have to drive to Ohio from Pittsburgh, which isn't too far, or West Virginia to buy fireworks and then bring them back. We don't have to do that anymore because now they sell them in PA. But it's ridiculous. I mean, all through the summer here, you'll just hear pop, pop, pop of fireworks constantly almost. All hours of the night.
So let's walk you through here. Drivers in southern Tennessee got this impromptu show of fireworks after a truck carrying the explosives caught on fire. This all happening on an interstate. Traffic in Chattanooga was stopped in both directions as firefighters tried to put out the flames. No injuries were reported. And boy,
I mean, that's the best news. That's the best part about it. No injuries were reported. I'm sure there's just a big old scar on the freeway there. Somehow they caught fire. Yeah, I'm not even sure if authorities will be able to determine that after, you know, the charred remains of. How would they? I mean, I suppose there's ways for these investigators to piece things together, but I mean, less pressure on them, of course, since there were no fatalities or even any injuries. So the intensity is diminished as a result. So they can take their time and try to figure it out. Don't tell me the driver was smoking. Hey, I didn't say that. I have no idea. Pure speculation, but even still, I mean, I can't imagine. I don't know. I have no idea. It could just be simple friction. It could be one unstable cartridge in there, a firework display. It could be anything. I wouldn't even know where to start. I can say that I don't know, and I'm not sure they ever will know themselves. All right, let's just chill for a minute, check out and see what national date is with Marlo Anderson. We haven't checked in with Marlo yet today. Let's see. What do we got? Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it's a funny one. It's been a heavy morning. Let's see. National Day calendar. And Marlo reminding you to celebrate every day. Let's see here. What do we got? What you got for us, Marlo? Give us something good. Oh, this is a perfect one. This is a perfect one. I didn't know this was a day, but man, I think last night this should have been the day. Whoopsies. So it's National Oopsie Daisies Day. Oopsie daisies, oopsie daisies, oopsie daisies. There's a married woman out there obsessed with some guy that calls himself Sinner. Oopsie daisies. Oopsie daisies. There's a gray gang that think they run stuff and they're just 400-pound monsters like the rest of them. Oopsie daisies. Oopsie daisies. Check this out. Let's see here. There we go. There's Marlo looking dapper, looking like a Star Trek movie extra.
Waking up early
Michelle 420 says
can be a challenge, but
home, Marlo. Before my mom passed, he had oxygen tank, and I don't know if she dropped her cigarette, but I see a whole fireball. Thank God she was never hurt, and nobody else in our apartment. Oh my God. Yes, I've heard of this happening. And we've all seen videos of people with oxygen smoking. You're like, oh my goodness. Lunatic says, whoopsie poopsie. That's whoopsie poopsie. Trooper says, one lane, and if traffic was open at 11 p.m., traffic was backed up for 9 hours. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a nightmare.
today is all about resetting your morning attitude. June 8th is National Upsy-Daisy Day.
Nanya, you need to reset your angry. Why are you such an angry woman? You need to reset your morning routine, I think. Maybe go spend some time with your husband. I think her husband's probably just like Elevated Truth's wife is, man. What a nightmare these people are.
Today's quest for a cheerful morning routine is tied to the evolution of the alarm clock. The ancient Greeks used complex water clocks that dropped pebbles to startle sleepers awake. During the industrial...
I will tell you as well, there was a series of smaller earthquakes in Greece as well. I didn't include it in the stories because it seems like There were no injuries in that case, but some structural damage and things like that.
Real revolution, professionals would walk the streets at dawn, using long poles to tap loudly on windows to get citizens moving. While a blaring mechanical bell or a modern digital chime can sometimes feel like a rude awakening, today is...
I pride myself on giving some nasty people on YouTube a rude awakening. Boy, you know what? I'm just getting started too.
a reminder to reframe the morning instead.
I think Nanya just doesn't like you, just a hunch. I think she's trying to fucking sniff my inner thigh, dude. She's like, I want to hear the details of this man's life, dude. Your poor husband, man, that poor guy on the internet, just acting like a full angry woman, dude. Yuck. Nobody likes that. She's not my type, dude.
Of dreading the wake-up call, treat the sound as your official invitation to jump out of bed, stretch, and meet the new day with a smile.
Yeah.
I'm Marlo Anderson with National Day Calendar, reminding you to celebrate every day.
Reminding Nanya to celebrate every day and to get off my nuts. All right, guys, I just want to show you one more thing. There's this really cool thing. Again, lighthearted stuff from here on out for the rest of the live stream. I don't think there's much pressing aside from we're at war. Our president's a pedo. What else? Earthquake in the Philippines. Please keep them in your prayers. I just want to show you this completely off subject here. I want to show you this program that a New Jersey school principal has instilled. I think it's the coolest thing ever. We always talk about how, you know, kids aren't like they used to be and they're not prepared and all of this. Well, let me just show you one of the coolest principles there are. He's preparing young men and women for, you know, to take this world on in maybe a different way than inner city children are used to. So, you know, this is out of New Jersey. Let me just quickly find it. For some reason, everything I added to my morning news playlist is just not there. So bear with me. I'll find it. Hopefully I will find it. Let's see here. And like I said, volcanic eruption in Japan as well. Sakurajima. The whole area is in a cloud of dust and smoke, but no injuries from that either. But bear with me. Let's see here. Reporting city under ash. I mean, it's a bit of a misnomer. Sorry, bear with me. It was yesterday, so I've got to dig back in my stuff right quick. Let's see here. Oh my God! If you're bored today, go check out Every Day with Jay's video about the armbands in the sea. Home run by Jay for Justice. I think people are mad that she and I get along. I guess they're just gonna have to cope. Somebody get them a large glass of cope. Let's see here. Sorry. I'm digging. It's a little bit back here. It was yesterday that I looked at it. I look at so much stuff, as you can imagine. I mean, your boy watches a lot of YouTube. And really what the bummer is, like, sometimes if you just scan over something, it goes into your history. So then when you go back to look for something that you watch, there's like 80 things ahead of it. So please bear with me. How long have we been on here? We've been on here. Okay, cool. We're getting there. We'll leave Marlo on the screen while I look. It's not going to take too much longer here. Actually, skip that. I want to show you the all the updates to the Sagrada Familia, and while I do that, I'll pull up the other case. So this is the church in which the new pope is going to be giving service. Just a stunning building, and some really interesting things in this video as well. Gaudi, whenever he designed the cathedral to begin with, he purposely made the highest point of the structure just a few feet shorter than the mountain range that you can see in the background. He did this specifically as an ode of respect to the maker and not trying to outshine our maker. So I say our maker. If you're not religious, don't bust my chops. I think you understand what I'm saying. It's one of the most extraordinary structures in all of the world. It's been under construction for 100 years, so it's nice to see that it's just about completed. I've been following this for years. Just look at this structure. It's awe-inspiring. This is what human beings are capable of. Instead of tearing each other down with big, angry, fat heads on YouTube, we can actually, well, you know, this is the Sagrada Familia.
Long trip. On Wednesday,
There's my volume.
he'll visit one of the country's most popular sites, the Sagrada Familia Church in Barcelona. Seth Doan gives us a tour.
There's a moment each morning, just after the cleaners and the waiting in line. When visitors get their first glimpse, nearly everyone gazes up.
Oops, I may have been muted. Thank you so much, Queen Moomin. I appreciate that. I'm not going to read the name of the recipient of the gifted membership, as it's a vulgar name, but thank you so much, Queen Moomin. If you did get that membership, make sure you thank her. Keeping the lights on at the Lemon Grove. I am sorry for the distraction. You know, if you talk negatively about these tubs of shit, then a bunch of people start emailing you. Save your fucking emails.
You'd have to have a soul made of stone not to kind of, when you step over the threshold, for your spirit just to lift up with that light.
The Sagrada Familia soars 50 stories. It's imposing and intriguing, a fantasy of forms. It's been redefining Barcelona's skyline for nearly a century and a half. And it's still
This is so cool. You get to see the view from the top. I'm not sure I don't know how you guys are with heights, but man, it's I'm not sure. You get wobbly kneed. At least most people do.
construction.
Gracias.
We were invited way up to see.
The golden one is a gold leaf laminated in between glass.
Where architect Mauricio Cortez has an enviable view.
You can't have vertigo here. No.
At 566 feet, it's taller than the Washington Monument in D.C., but lower than nearby Montjuic.
The mountain just behind us is
Oh,
just a little...
You're not missing anything, Michelle 420. It's a bunch of hag hoes that used to be besties with Queen Bee. They're just bees without a hive. I mean, they think they have some kind of social stature where they can be gatekeepers, when really they're behind almost all of the bullshit that happens in the Krama sector. They just pretend they don't. They're fake asses. They are. Nanya, she just seems like she's thirsty for me, dude, which is awkward because she's a married woman, dude. Hey, dude, get your bitch.
A little bit taller than the basilica. Why is that? Out of respect, Gaudí didn't want to surpass the work of the creation.
The basilica's architect, Antoni Gaudí, wanted to build a
I did mention as well, the Thundering Child Beater is going to be back on YouTube today. If she does go live, she'll probably go live within the next couple of hours. I will immediately start a live stream on Cousin Charlie's channel, and we'll screen snipe that hog to see how she returns to YouTube. I'm willing to bet that she's going to be on her best behavior. Or will she fight her natural inclination to be a big sloppy hoe? We'll find out together. So make sure your notifications are on, and make sure you are subscribed to Cousin Charlie's channel. I have to text him and wake him up.
out of stone. In February, the newest of 18 towers, this one dedicated to Jesus, was crowned with a cross, making the Sagrada Familia the tallest church in the world.
You're in charge of the Jesus Tower.
I mean, of all the churches, just think about that. I mean, that alone is a spectacular feat.
How is it to finally have it in place? It culminates more than a decade of work. It's like a dream come true. Your dream. Yeah, Gaudi's Gaudi's dream dream, and 5 generations, really.
He was an extraordinarily ambitious architect, probably the most ambitious architect in history.
So he only saw this one on the left, the darker one?
Yes.
Gijs van Hensbergen wrote a biography of the visionary architect, whose buildings across Barcelona can seem shaped by hand.
I mean, Gaudi, it was just quite a character. If you ever want to see an artist that was out of his mind and brilliant at the same time, check out Gaudi or Gaudi.
When I first turned the corner and you come and you see the basilica, to me it almost felt like you'd see sandcastles at a beach.
Absolutely. However serious and profoundly Catholic he was, I think he always had this wonderful capacity for joy, for playfulness.
Gaudí was extraordinary architect. He created beauty.
It's extraordinary.
Emphasis. Gaudí. Gaudí.
Jordi Fauli is chief architect. He began working here in 1990.
Gaudí explained that will be as a forest.
He wanted this to resemble a forest.
And also he designed this structure, columns that are divided in different branches to support all the weight of the church only with these internal trees.
Those trees have knots, see? Nature figures throughout the basilica.
It's just, I really have never had an urge to travel there, but the more I look at this building, I feel like I have to one day.
Staircase resembles.
Oh, you hear how loud that bird is here? Jeez, that bird's right out the window yelling.
A snail shell, honeycomb-like hexagons, and that forest of columns reveals another fixation: geometry.
He devoted 2 years to achieve this column, a column that starts with a square.
You see a square on this side.
The square is transformed into an octagon, 16 size polygons, and
you have a circle on the other side.
Antoni Gaudí was
just the way it's built would be like any construction worker's worst nightmare. Square forms changing to a hexagonal form, all in the same pillar. I mean, what a nightmare. And I don't even want to get into how much it costs, but obviously it's the people find value there, not only as a tourist spot, but also a point of pride.
Commissioned in 1883 at just 31, not by a Catholic diocese, but a local book dealer. He worked on the church for 43 years, in the end living on the construction site.
Exactly 100 years ago, June 7th, 1926.
Yes, well, the cat's in the window, like shaking its whole body. So yes, I think the bird was taunting him, taunting her, as it were.
Gaudí was crossing this street when he was struck by a tram. He was so disheveled that no one recognized him. Ultimately, he was taken to a hospital where he died of his injuries 3 days later.
It's almost a state funeral when he dies, because by that time, the Catalan identity had become enshrined in Gaudí's personality.
But when he died at age 73, only about 10 to 15% of the structure was complete.
He knew he wouldn't live long enough to finish.
Exactly. And he left a lot of information in order to make possible that in the future his successors will build following his ideas, his project.
Those ideas were mostly in the form of models, but divining Gaudí's intention.
Look at that. That's incredible. So if you didn't catch that these are models, there were a lot of like scaled down versions that he did accomplish and finish before his passing, but not even what they say 10-15% of it was built by the time of his passing. And what a way to go, just as a common man in the street. Meanwhile, you're a genius that's designing I don't know, it could be one of the wonders of the world, really.
Has required detective work because during the Spanish Civil War,
I love all these old models that were produced, man, and these models themselves are priceless, and they're usually held in protected museums, and they're not so much in the hands of collectors, although a lot of the sketches and drawings and blueprints for their original structure you can purchase prints of those from Gaudi's estate, which is pretty cool. You can get souvenirs of it if you want.
Or anarchists protesting the Catholic Church.
Let's see, Trooper says when the Notre Dame church burnt in April of 2019, I sat in my living room floor in tears. I distinctly remember that. That's when I first started understanding YouTube a little better, and I went down the rabbit hole. But they've since rebuilt. I mean, but it's an insane thing to see such a legendary structure burn. You almost think that they're just going to be there forever. But if we look back in history, many of the greatest things that human beings have built were destroyed by guess what? Human beings. It's really strange.
Church set fire to parts of the structure and smashed Gaudi's.
I mean, talk about this is why we can't have nice things. Sorry, I'm going to go back a second. I didn't hear. So this is 1936.
The Catholic Church set fire to parts of the structure and smashed Gaudi's models into 8,000 pieces.
Wow, that's terrible.
All this bit here in the center, these are original bit from Gaudí. All these towers are made of these triangular windows.
Esteve Humbert is one of the architects.
So this is an original picture of that window. This is the same geometry as we can see in this picture. Because we have that bit, people were able to reconstruct what's missing.
Gaudí left geometric clues to help with construction.
If you twist around the same axis, you can see that you get a hyperbolic paraboloid.
And this is
the shape.
Sophisticated software and modular construction have sped up building. It's all paid for by ticket sales. Over $150 million collected last year from nearly 5 million visitors. It's Spain's top tourist attraction.
Holy cow, that's so much money. Spain's top tourist attraction. Well, I can understand why. That's just really impressive. So it's you and I and fellow travelers out there in the world that have paid for this structure. Donation by donation. That's incredible.
Walk around here and you'll likely see more selfie sticks than rosary beads. Protesters decrying over-tourism have shot water pistols at tour buses. And the basilica...
What can I say to that? I mean, okay.
has endured aesthetic critiques.
Not everyone loves this building. Some call this kitsch. To those critics,
I just do want to share with you a couple of strange facts about this structure. It's been under construction longer than the Great Pyramid of Giza has been constructed. Construction began in 1882. Gaudí knew he wouldn't live to see it finished, famously stating that his client, it was God, was not in a hurry. The project relies entirely on private donations and ticket sales from funding, which is why it has taken over a century. The current estimated completion date is for the structure is later this summer, 2026. Another factor are absolutely no exact 90-degree angles. Just listen to what I just said. There are no exact 90-degree angles. So the largest church in the world, these architects are maniacs, first of all, and also, I mean, how talented. Gaudí deeply believed that straight lines and right angles do not naturally exist in the wild, so they shouldn't exist in architecture. His entire structure relies on fluid, naturalistic curves. In 1936, as they were talking about these protesters turned his models of the structure into rubble. That occurred in 1936 during the outbreak of the Spanish Civil War. A group of anarchists broke into Gaudí's crypt and workshop. They smashed his intricate plaster models and set fire to his architecture plans. It took 16 years for architects to meticulously piece the shattered master models back together and figure out how Gaudí intended to finish the buildings. Good morning, Cheese. What's up, my dude? Okay, this is another interesting thing. Gaudí wanted the nativity facade to represent the people of Barcelona. To make the sculptures look realistic as possible, he took actual death masks of deceased local citizens as well as facial cast of construction workers who were building the structure, and used them as molds for the statues on the exterior. Now that's partly creepy and partly incredible. So the faces that are depicted of the saints and the nativity scenes, and those are all faces of locals, either the people that constructed the building or those that passed in Barcelona during that time. Pretty cool, dude. I mean, how cool would it be to be like, to figure out for a fact that that's like your great grandmother or great grandfather's face up on the Sagrada Familia. So cool. This part I found interesting as well. It was intentionally designed to be exactly 1 meter shorter than the local mountain peak. Just once the central tower of Jesus Christ is completed, it will stand at 172.5 meters, making it the tallest religious building in Europe. However, Gaudi deliberately capped the height so it could be exactly 1 meter shorter than I'm going to butcher this, but the Montjuic Hill, the highest natural point in Barcelona. He believed that nothing made by man should ever surpass the height of God's creation. Meanwhile, we're launching ourselves into space. Good times, right? I guess that's okay. Boy, the copyright people are coming at me now from yesterday's live stream. Oh boy. I tell you what, I'd rather YouTube copyright people come at me than some overweight, mentally unwell hag that thinks she's a gatekeeper of some kind of YouTube neighborhood. Duh. Anyways, more on that, so much more on that later. I think we're going to show everybody's cam slips and figure out which one of these meatheads are the least attractive. That should be fun.
Of Gaudi's design, what do you say?
The people could have his opinion, it's normal, no? But all we build, it's according to our ideas.
But I wonder, are there times you disagree with what Gaudi has decided?
Never.
Significant work still lies ahead.
I've wondered that too. As I followed this in the past, I often wondered, like, because they had to reconstruct his original intent, they're just putting them positions at times that have to guess. So I wonder how much of it is exactly what Gaudi's vision was. I mean, pretty close. I mean, I think we can all agree by looking at the models, but even still, just for, construction sensibilities, I'm not sure what kind of obstacles they ran into. I could only imagine. Really.
Head, a staircase Gaudi envisioned would.
In 100 years, how many times was there overturn of the architect that was in charge? I'm sure people were dismissed because they weren't up to par, and then bring someone else in and give them a try. 100 years is an awful long time, and they can only do it a little bit at a time because they have to wait till the money comes in, and it's all predicated on tourism. Like originally, it was funded by a bookstore. And think about that.
Required demolishing.
They trying to sell Bibles.
Nearby homes and businesses, and the Guinness Book of World Records already says it's the oldest active construction site in the world.
When will the basilica be finished?
We don't know.
Don't know?
We don't know, no.
10 years, 20 years?
We don't know. 10, 15, 20, we don't know.
Do you think you'll live to see the completion?
I don't know. Perhaps, I don't know.
Fauli may again appreciate his predecessor's approach, for whom time was but an...
Just look at that. I just want to...
Fauli may again appreciate his predecessor's approach.
Just look at that, will ya? So from what we just learned is these faces on all of these sculptures were death masks. Back in the day, they used to make a death mask. I think Abraham Lincoln has a very famous one here in the United States, but these are all faces of locals and the construction workers. Imagine trying to debate with your buddy as you're eating your lunch, building this thing. It's like, I want my face to be right here. Well, I want my face to be over here. Just adds to the painstaking process of putting it all together. This is a window. I mean, it does look a lot like those sand castles where you take the white sand and you sort of just drizzle it until it makes little pyres. So cool.
for whom time was but an earthly concern.
I mean, come on. Look at the intricacy. Look at the crucifix and the almost abstract manner it was designed. All of the text behind here, it's just so cool.
Gaudi said his client was God, and, quote, God is
It almost looks skeletal as well.
in a hurry.
All right. On Thursday, LEGO unveiled its largest set ever, a replica of the Barcelona's iconic La Sagrada Familia. While the actual church is still under construction after 144 years, amateur builders can finish the 12,060-piece, 40-inch tall miniature if they have patience and some money. The model retails at $799. You know, I've been trying to avoid any kind of LEGO news. It seems like it's been a thing. All right, so that's it for that one. I do want to show you what this school in New Jersey is doing, but let me just give me 1 second to see if I can quickly find it, because for some reason I can't find it in my history, and I just looked at it. Let's see. It is a private high school, but this principal still is the fucking man for this. Let's see. I think it's Appalachian. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can find it. Come on. I found it, dude. Blessed is the search bar. Give me 1 second. Let me switch this out. I think it's a genius because everybody's so worried about kids being weak and not be able to fend to themselves because they're so tethered to the teat of technology. These stories give me some encouragement, some hope for the future. I'm not one of those old people that have no faith in the youth. I actually the opposite. If they can do it in what we try to do in a smarter way, then bless them, man. Also, we have to treat them with care and teach them everything we know. The good things. Try to keep all the bad shit you do in your life away from your children. You know, as we see on YouTube, there's examples of garbage mothers that just pass their bad traits onto their children. It's just another generation of felons and, you know, dropouts. But we can hope for the best. I have a lot of confidence in the youth of tomorrow, the youth of today. Let's face it, they're the ones going to be wiping our asses. So we can't just throw them under the bus. Let's see. Let me swap this out. Blessed is the search bar. Yes. Okay. Switching gears again from Barcelona to New Jersey. Well, it couldn't be two different places on earth. Hey, check it out. This principal is the fucking man. One of you in chat went to a camp when they were young, a different kind of camp, cheese, but I'm sure it was still quite an experience, man. And Glenn Cassidy is the man. There was some hubbub about calling school age children inner city kids. Well, hey man, the name says it all. Like somebody was trying to imply that was racist. That somebody said no, just kids that grew up in the inner city. It's not that confusing. You know, cities, right? If you're in that, you get it. Also, QB called Hong rice bowl last night. That was one of the most despicable displays of blatant fucking racism I've ever seen on YouTube before, but everyone's going to ignore that. They're going to be talking about my crotch all day today instead, you know. Interesting how that works. Rice bowl. Rebecca, rice bowl? Is that what you meant to say? Interesting. Because he's Asian, I get it, rice stereotype. You're a fat racist person, Rebecca. I'll show you all that later. It's in the woods, dude. But I think this is a brilliant program, and I really think it should be replicated across the country because we know there's nothing really as impactful as bonding and building confidence, team building, all of that. Of course, as a veteran, I'm going to say that, but I honestly do believe it's true. It makes for better people. It makes for a young mind to understand that you don't have to know how to do everything. You have to know what you do properly and have people depend on you doing your part. As you see, they break these hiking excursions into specific roles. This image here, it does make me think that, I mean, obviously there's significant funding behind this because those packs aren't very cheap, you know, as well. I mean, they all have to have hiking shoes as well. I'm not sure if it's incorporated in the tuition because this is a private Catholic school. But this is something that should be accessible to all school systems if they can pull it. She says, I wouldn't change a thing in my life. Well, one thing, but I've had a fun-filled life full of wine, women, and song, as they say. And I know you have, man. Weaker people would have crumbled much earlier in life. Cheese is cut from different cloth. Cool. I mean, this is, you know, nothing builds character like team bonding and building confidence, which is the most important thing, man. We see it here. We see adults on YouTube that have no confidence to the point where they just lash out and put everyone else down, and it somehow in their minds it makes them, you know, a better person. Well, it doesn't. It makes them embarrassing. You know, that's it. That Chi said, we did our thing in a boys' home I was in. They taught us how to rappel. It was fun. You also there was some connection to Joan Jett. I always fuck this story up, but she's had a chance to meet Joan Jett. Turns out she's a badass after all. I have a funny story. It actually has nothing to do with me. You got your teeth cleaned? Oh, good for you. Some of these people, they can't do that. If the dentist put a tool against some of those brittle ass mouths around here, man, they would collapse like a building in an earthquake. But geez, I forgot a kind of funny story. I'm not going to say his name, but this guy I knew in Santa Barbara, up in the San Marcos Pass, there was one of these boys' schools camps for wayward children. You know, Santa Barbara, you know, just East Siders, West Siders, pretty small amount of gang activity, but it was basically all those kids. But one of my buddies, I remember him going up there and chucking contraband over the fence and like almost getting caught. It was like this whole adventure thing. He had to tear ass down the mountains in his car. People are wild, man. And speaking of that, geez, I wonder like what's up with drones nowadays? They could just fly over the fucking rec yard and just open their compartment and drop shit into these facilities. I always wondered about that. Maybe I watched too many movies. His conversations about going out to Yellow Springs, Ohio, where Dave Chappelle is building a dynasty. He had this, you know, this whole spiel about being a black guy camping. It's so funny. I do urge you to check it out. I think he says from the streets to the creeks, from the hood to the woods. Like, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. And it really, these kids are going to go back to the big city in New Jersey, and everyone's going to be like, what was it like out there? It's so cool. And I guarantee that you're going to have best friends in this group for the rest of their life. They're all going to remember camping in the rain. It's just, it's what makes human beings more, I don't want to say valuable, but let's see. She says, same boys home, and Joan Jett's mother worked there. Okay, that's what it was. I'm sorry. You told me a dozen times, dude. My memory is garbage. Jett spent a weekend with us. They couldn't, with us, they couldn't go home or didn't have one to go to. She was cool AF. And that was, yeah, for the holidays. That's so cool, dude. I mean, who gets to have Thanksgiving dinner with Joan Jett, the man? All right, let me get rid of that really quickly. All right, Summer, as you know, I plan on roasting QB at 5:00 today. I may postpone that till tomorrow because I might have some dinner plans. Oh no, does he have a date? Oh no, how much did she pay for the date? These people are just inappropriate, man. So off the news, I just want to give you some drama updates here. So I stumbled over the Deets in the Streets live stream yesterday, and of course they were talking about a baby. They were talking about blood. They were talking about elevated truth. They talk about all the nastiest stuff, and they just pretend that they're above it. But these same raunchy hoes are the ones that invited elevated truth into this community. They're responsible for him being here, and now they're making content out of him. It's crazy. So they went to talk about is this baby unhealthy? Is this baby addicted to drugs? Directly into how much would it cost to fuck Sinner? Like, I mean, these women have no respect for themselves or me, obviously. If I were ever to talk about them this way, they would be crying, oh, we need to have a community meeting. you what you need to do is stop eating so much food because you're all grossly obese. First of all, stop eating so much. I mean, disgusting, dude. Some of you have children. Do you want? I mean, jeez, man. Anyways, so that's coming up. So I might add in a little bit of Nunya's big fat ugly face to the roast tonight. She deserves it. This sloppy hoe's been like crawling around in the darkness pretending to be a good person for too long. She's actually just a bee without a hive. Just really, really interested in my sex life for some reason. I thought she was a married woman. I guess there's wayward, angry women all over the world. Like, what can you do? And if any of my moderators are uncomfortable with this, just say the word. Also, if my current moderators or ex-moderators could stop passing around private messages or messages from a Discord that someone set up as a mod Discord, wasn't even my setup. I mean, both of those people are gone. Yeah, so yes, that was last night for hundreds of people. These useless fat cunts just sat there and just went on and on about a story that they thought they knew the details. They knew nothing. Meanwhile, Chronicles of the Shady is determined to get justice and see Melissa's receipts. I don't know everyone's lost their mind. I'm over it. Obviously, these people never respected me. They just pretended to. I guess because I was doing what they wanted to, but I'm not doing that anymore. So a big shakeup here. Let the pieces fall where they may. I see I lost a handful of subscribers. Good. They're probably people that support big, fat, ugly bitches that lurk on people's crotches and babies' iron levels, dude. We're not made the same. We're not from the same cloth. Because someone yet again gave details of their life. Yeah, I mean, it seems they're all jealous of Melissa flirting with me. That's awkward. Again, they're married women. Actually, most of them aren't. They can't get anyone to commit to them. Maybe because they're so unhealthy. None of that's my problem. But if you start talking about me the way they're talking about me, I'm obviously going to have something to say about it. I don't know if Joneson's going to get her little Burker Dirk husband to send the buffalo after me or whatever these fucking lowlives do. I'm not worried about any of it. If you feel the urge to share my private messages, do understand that if you have private messages from me, then I also have yours. So we could just go full drama, from now on. Not like we don't anyways. But I'm offended. Specifically the gray team, Nanya. No, not so much Jonesy, Nanya for sure. She's had it out for me for a very long time. Ever since they set up iTowel, and I basically took the blame for all of it for months. QB thought it was me. She thought it was my channel. I didn't even know who the channel was. It was those fat bitches sitting over there just stirring the pot, trying to get back at a friend of theirs, like frenemies. They had just left the hive. They were bitter. It was a big conspiracy there. The channel got struck. They used a name that was close to the QB's lawyer's name. I took the blame the whole time. I was called a pedophile. I was told that I beat women. All of this. It went on for months. It's still going on. It's all because these secret bitches wanted to get back at a friend of theirs. It's absolutely pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. But I have a lot more to say about that. And then, of course, Jones trying to get back at QB, Foy and stuff, passing it to me. I was the fall guy for the whole thing. And now they just want to talk about my dick and who it is I might fuck. Just think about that. Dude, I tell you what, none of you bitches even make the cut. I tell you that for sure. I do have standards and a type. Fat and ignorant really isn't something I'm attracted to. So there's that. Angry women too. Nanya is such an angry woman. I don't know what this world has done to her, but it's not my fault. It's really not my fault. But hey, if these bitches want to dance, you can call me Fred Astaire. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Summer, you said you hate this place. Imagine how I feel about this, dude. These people were fucking retarded, for lack of better words. And just deal with it. I don't give a fucking unsubscribe if you don't like it. They're retarded people. There's no better word for it. I remember the ITAL drama. Yeah, dude, they'll never give me peace, man. As soon as I try to ignore them, they're just like, oh, sinner's dick. I want to know. And literally in the chat, someone's like, well, she does send him a lot of money, implying that I would sell my fucking dick for money, dude. No. I have respect for myself. Although Voices for the Voiceless had the funniest comment in chat yesterday. She says, it's $25K for the butt stuff. And I tried to respond, well, don't sell yourself short, or we know voices going price. That was funny. That was kind of funny. But no, I'm not a hooker. Although some of these fucking 300-pound bitches, they really they really sell themselves on here, huh? They sell their sanctimony. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you because look what you've done. Meanwhile, they're the problem, and they have been. They behind the scenes, they've been creating all these problems for years, man. I tried to let it go, but they won't let me. Specifically, Nunya. Hey, Nunya, go fuck yourself, bitch. You got the wrong dude. And Nunya's husband, get your bitch, dude. Get your bitch. He won't, though. I mean, what kind of respectable person? Ugh. I mean, I got the same vibe of Nunya's husband as I do of Elevated Truth's wife, dude. Just must be passive and miserable. How else can someone live with such a mean, angry person, dude? It makes no sense. Let's see. I think there's one more thing I want to show you, though. Just make sure you're angry with the right one. The right one. Lunatic. I know you've had it in from Melissa. I'm going to tell you that Melissa was originally part of the problem, but after that, it's a bunch of people that have claimed to have my back and be my friend, that they can't contain themselves. Now, I don't know if they're all trying to blow me and it's jealousy. I know that's the case with a couple of them for sure, and I mean, it's provable. But the rest of them seem to be wanting to protect the ones that want to blow me against this big scary monster. Well, I'm a grown-up man and I can handle my business just fine. In fact, I lost friends and moderators over this, not because something Melissa did, but because what my friends and moderators did. They lost their minds. They lost their minds. And now I've got people clipping me saying that I'm not loyal and I can be bought and sold. Well, go fuck yourselves, dude. If I'm going to be bought and sold, it's going to be for more than what, a couple $100, maybe $1,000. I don't know how much money she sent me over the last 2 years. It's not a significant amount. And why would any of these people be more worried about the receipts that a private citizen paid to a YouTuber when there's actual receipts that we need answers for? We need answers for the blip boards. We need answers for all these weird little fundraisers that these people do. But no. Let's make a conspiracy out of somebody giving money away. They're retarded. That's what's going on here. Do your worst is what I say. But if you don't know the facts about the situation, why don't you go ahead and invite me up? Because I guess we got to talk about it. But don't sit over there and guess and say, I wonder, they were negotiating to get a hotel room. First of all, stop implying that I sell my ass. I know some of you are just wretched hoes that would, if your husband wasn't taking care of you definitely would sell your ass. But I have more respect for myself than you people do. And I've known that for years. I didn't do or say any of that. Okay, Lunatic. Well, I'm just not going to make it about you today. I know for a fact, and we've spoken about it. You know what I mean? And I let bygones be bygones. But the fact of the matter, people couldn't stop. They couldn't stop. 25K. It's almost as though they don't have a life. It's pretty wild. Some of it I understood. Some of it was actual jealousy and understandable. But some of it was just petty bitches being thirsty. Like you bitches didn't have a shot to begin with. I don't understand. Nobody is trying to do harm. Well, that's not true. There are people attempting to do harm. In fact, they've accomplished in doing harm. That's a fact. Marby feels and them, but never us. That's simply not true, Lunatic. I mean, you were one of the biggest proponents in stirring the shit. I understood that you were trying to protect the channel and the people that have been here for a long time. But it turns out that people that you were trying to protect were the ones that behind the scenes were trying to destroy my shit. So the way I dealt with it is like, okay, I don't want you fucking people around no more. And they won't be welcome here anymore. And we're going to keep moving. The mission continues until a fat crackhead Turner is off of the fucking YouTube, then this channel stands. And I did say that I'm gonna end this fucking bullshit probably around 500 episodes because I don't want to deal with fat cunts like Nunya anymore. Like I can't, dude. I got too much respect for myself. What's up, Jay? Good morning. Oh, we should play your song. Oh my God, I laughed so hard. Not the floaties. You know what? Maybe we'll do that because people are so triggered with the fact that I get along with Jay for Justice. I mean, imagine a guy that likes to fucking hear the truth about shit, listening to someone that tells the fucking truth about shit. I mean, oh my God, that's almost like a guy that likes hamburgers going to a hamburger joint and then getting criticized for liking hamburgers. Nah, man, you're not going to upgrade my reality. So give me 1 second. Let me see how quickly I can find it. It must have been on Every Day with Jay, I'm guessing. Pure speculation. Let me look. It is funny if you haven't seen it. You know what? We might finish this live stream by writing a song about Nanya's big purple camel fucking shaped head. That might be fun. All right, let's see here. Yes, it is. It's right here. Oh, God. So let's listen to this really quickly. Home run, by the way. I'm not the biggest fan of AI music, but when it pertains to something that I know well, like, and also thank you for leaving me out of the floaty video. For those of you interested, this is all spawned from Nonsense, that big shoulder bitch's pitiful, pathetic attempt in trying to compare me to Elevated Truth. I'm nothing like him. Obviously, the man is broken. Anyways, she made the thumbnail with me and Elevated Truth in the ocean where she's like got a flamethrower, but we've got these little armbands, floaties is what we call them in the United States. And he thought, listen how much of a fucking pussy this, how can you be that much of a creep and that much of a pussy at the same time, dude? You're gonna create a fucking time-space continuum of just weakness. How does it even happen? Anyways, he was just like, and that's obviously a threat. He's like trying to file a police report because Nonsense put fucking floaties on his arms in a thumbnail. Dude, she was considering your safety. Anyways, check it out. Jay wrote a song about it. Or AI wrote a song with Jay's human manipulation of the data. So look at this. Like I said, not the biggest fan of AI music, but when the lyrics are talking about something that we've been talking about, that's the sweet spot. 20 years from now, if you were to listen to this, you'd be like, what the fuck were humans doing back then? Hopefully I won't be here in 20 years to see it. I mean, on YouTube. I hope to still be alive. Don't misunderstand me.
Trisha gasped and grabbed her phone, said don't leave me.
I mean, Trisha is such a dumb bitch. And here's the thing. Trisha used to be a psychic, I guess. I wonder if she knew that Jay was going to make this video with her crystal meth ball. I mean, her crystal ball.
Out here all alone, the waves rolled in so peacefully, but they swore it was a conspiracy. Armbands in the sea.
I wonder how Elevated Truth feels about like being welcomed into a community and being found interesting and all. He's not that bad. He's got some good things to say. That was all the Great Gang. The rest of us were like, fuck this guy from the beginning. They basically snuck him in the back door and now they hate him. Did they do this on purpose? Was this just all a big plan to have content in the future? Because it definitely seems that way, dude. I mean, how hardcore can you criticize the guy you brought to the party? Dirty bitches.
Floating wild and free. Everybody else sees swim gear, but they tremble in fear. Armbands in the sea. What a mystery. Just a pair of floaties riding tight, but they got.
I mean, some of these images are just ridiculous. And come on now, you know his arms and his legs are way shorter than this, dude. He's like a micro machine. I say we hook Nanya's husband up with Elevated Truth's wife so there can be some love in this world. Everyone else is too miserable. A match made in heaven.
A seagull landed by the shore. They said, we've seen this bird before. Every splash became a clue. Every ripple meant the danger grew. The lifeguard laughed and shook his head. Folks
Oh, there's more to this. I don't have time to run around and get all the clips for you guys and everything, but just please take my word for it because this is the facts. So Elevated Truth went over to Trisha's. That's how she became involved in this. You can't take any of this seriously, man. These people are retarded. There's no better word for it. She Elevated Truth went over to Trisha Talks and jumped on panel and just traumatized everybody. But Trisha, she's just like, oh, in the armbands in the sea. Like, it was the most pathetic, like, acting slash just stupid bitch moment I've seen in years, dude. What an idiot. So now she'll be forever immortalized with that quote. I mean, I do wonder, though, if she saw this coming, being that she was a psychic before she started making her money obsessing and stalking an infant in the Carolinas. Really weird. These people usually suffer heart attacks and fucking, all kinds of shit like that. It's called karma,
From coast to coast about the armbands and the ghostly hosts. Armbands in the sea, floating harmlessly, bobbing gently in the afternoon, underneath the summer moon. Armbands in the sea, what a miss.
He's like, look at that star up there. Trisha, look at that star up there. It was under that star that my mother didn't protect me, and now I got to blame the whole world. It was under that star that I realized that I was always going to be a weak, broken man, under that star right there, Trisha. And she's like, hey, that's lovely. Fucking losers.
Just a pair of floaties riding tight, but they've got nowhere to hide.
No, that's Trisha Talks in this AI video. But Nonsense is the one that made the original thumbnail. Sorry, I may have misspoke. I don't know if you guys ever wake up and go live 30 minutes later, but I just woke up like 10 minutes ago, so bear with me. And like, for some reason, there's so much comedy mixed up. These people are not serious people, man. He sells teddy bears out of his basement, and Trisha's still got the crystal ball nearby, and seems like shards of crystals as well. If you know, you know. But it's crazy, the shapes of these people, man. This guy's like a micro machine, dude. He's got short legs, little weird stumpy arms, some of the worst tattoos you'll ever see in his life. He creeps on babies and shares the most vulgar stories about tragic events in his own life. A real piece of shit. I mean, I've been calling him the trauma dumpster diver. He's just always digging in his dumpster of trauma, trying to splash the juice all over everybody. Ugh. Oh, and his teeth. What's wrong with all of their teeth, man? The bottom row of his teeth are all small, and there are way too many of them, dude. It's like a muskie.
Oh man, the danger grew. The lifeguard laughed and shook his head. Folks said floaties come instead. But
I am happy to tell you that the floaties, my floaties from the thumbnail, have been donated to the Krama Historical Society, so they'll be on display, I think, as soon as next week.
legends spread from coast to coast about the armbands and the ghostly host. Armbands in the...
The funny thing is, none of this had anything to do with me, but nonsense and her giant fucking man shoulders. Also, Kyle, that's your thing, bud? Okay, whatever. Hey, to each their own. Love is in the eye of the beholder. That's what I said about QB. Love is in the eye of the beholder, and ain't nobody gonna be holding her. I am curious to see if, like, me being outspoken against the Gray Gang and how they're really a fucking problem and they just pretend not to be. I wonder if this will cause an alliance between Crack Turner, dude. She's so desperate for people. Man, Nanya, there you go. You can return home to the hive where you fucking belong, you sloppy bitch. And you can sit up there and you can talk about my Deoc and who I might sleep with in the future, or have fantastical stories of how much it would cost to sleep with me. Y'all thirsty. It's embarrassing. For real. Like, what is that? Could you imagine if I talked about these hoes this way? Could you imagine?
Underneath the summer moon, all bears in the sea. Such a tragedy.
He's like, I think the people that were supposed to take care of me ran that way.
Scared of children swimming gear. Everything looks weird.
The breakdown.
Watch them drift away. Ooh, another sunny day. No monsters.
Sorry to pause. A Lunatic says, I'll be here for the drama stream. Oh, keep in mind also, if the Hippo Child Harmer goes live today. She said last night on her, she's twitching over there. The last nerves of the hive are twitching over there. She said she's going to come back today. If she does, I got a text back from cousin Charlie. He said he'll be asleep, but the door's unlocked. We'll go over there and we'll screen snipe that sloppy hoe.
Lurking underneath.
Oh, look, there's Cletus and the 400-pound racist. I understand she lost a lot of weight. Unfortunately for her, she still has a fat voice. So bummer, dude.
Just inflate.
Some problems Ozempic can't help. Actually, most of them. Yeah, Cletus definitely can't swim. With all those fucking worms in his intestines, dude, he'll sink right to the bottom. Oh, she's live now? Okay, so let me just remake my coffee. I'll just make a whole pot, and then we'll jump over to cousin Charlie. What do you think about that? Let's green snipe that fat bitch, dude. And you know what? It's going to be real difficult for me to be nice to fucking any of these creatures. Whether they were people pretending to have my back for years or if they're new enemies. The next couple days are going to be rocky. I may need some new moderators because maybe some of the old ones will quit. I already fired 2 because they're running around passive-aggressive, obsessed with Melissa. Y'all bitches are crazy, dude. I mean, you want to see if somebody has your back after 2 or 3 years? Take away their wrench and watch how they act, dude. Turns out they didn't have my back at all. They were just self-important shit. Me with Grain the whole time, she just wanted me to go with Joneson, and I just avoided it. Now she's not here, and I'm going to be going at her enemies, and she won't be here to enjoy it because she couldn't contain herself with the passive-aggressive bullshit, man. These are people I thought were my friends. So I'm mad on so many different levels right now. And in the meantime, I got motherfuckers saying that I'm the disloyal one. No. You people have been a fucking nightmare. All of them, dude. Almost all of them from the very beginning. And it's like a setup, just like the Gray Gang does, dude. Do all this weird shit behind the scenes, police reports, FOIAs, dude. I got blamed for all of it, and it was them. So I'm gonna put my foot down. I'm done. If any of those cunts want to take a link, I'll be over there reviewing QB, her triumphant return to YouTube. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Let's finish this tune.
Little floaties on a lazy tide. Taking a
Ooh, dude, racist soup. Ugh.
peaceful ride. All bands in the sea. Not a threat to me.
That's so funny you say that. Jay says taking wrenches can wreck lives. I had no idea how tethered they were parasocially to my existence, man. They're like literally trying to tell me who I can date and who I can text, dude. We're not going to do that. It's none of their business, dude. These people just try to dissolve with their eagerness to run something when they don't have anything to run. They just chiseled away every fucking boundary there is between two human beings, man. On all sides, dude. Everybody did it. I just sat here and watched it happen. I should have been more proactive, but also, well, you'll see. I have to teach more bitches lessons, dude. I hate doing that, but I got the energy for it, so stand by for that.
If you need a spooky story told, those armbands never get old.
Yeah, the fact that Elevated Truth thought that like the floaties were the threatening part. I think the flamethrower that she was holding in the thumbnail was more of a problem. She put floaties on you, Elevated Truth, Stevie, you little bitch ass mother. She did that for your safety, dude. Lost Lily says you are a major cause. I think it's my dick, Lost Lily. I think they're obsessed with it. I think that's the problem. You are a major cause. I don't even know what that means. A major cause of what? A major cause of awesomeness. A major cause of a fat child beating crackhead being exposed. Even further exposing a bunch of people support that. Ooh, yes, I am the major cause. You know, you guys know I'm a Marine, right? So when I'm around my Marine Corps buddies and anybody says something like, we're gonna have major issues this afternoon," we all salute and say major issues. And that goes down the line with any rank. Well, the general consensus is that we need to do a general consensus, and we all salute. It's very funny. Lost Lily said no. Hey, Lost Lily, do the world a favor and talk in complete sentences. It says you are a major cause. Who is a major cause, and what are they a major cause of? These are all key components to communicating as a human being. It's a vital skill to have. People that aren't good at communicating typically have a miserable existence on this planet. It's vital. So please tell me what you're saying. Lost Lily says, you need some self-reflection, Dave. Well, you need to stop pretending that you know me and you can reflect on my nuts. You need some self-reflection, David. Listen, first of all, you don't know me, dude. You do understand. You only know about me what I've shared and with what a bunch of overweight, mentally ill cunts around here have told you. So I'll just put you on a timeout and see if you need some self-reflection, Lost Lily. Obviously, another woman that doesn't have a man, dude. None of this is my problem. I'll be self-reflecting. Look at that face, dude. My God, dude. What makes you go to nurse training, become a nurse, and then quit? I'll never understand that. It's like becoming a pilot and never flying, dude. What happened, Ricky? What happened to you? What happened, Ricky? What did you do wrong? All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to play us out with a song. Jeez, man. What kind of song? I played us in with Mac Miller's Good News, man, because I don't give a fuck about copyright. So there's that. Pilot X, thank you so much for the Cash App. Pilot X sends $100 and says, fuck those bitches, get them. Okay, well, I don't know if I have the energy to get them, but I'm certainly going to defend myself and explain how, once again, the same group of useless, overweight cunts are trying to fucking pester my existence here. I'm done. I'm fed up. They're not even any better than QB. All these people are the same, dude. Sitting around getting high all day. No, thank you. No, thank you. Shout out all the responsible stoners out there that don't fantasize about strangers' cocks all day long. Lost Lily, you're wrong as hell about that. But you're on a timeout now, Lost Lily. So you take this time to run over to Jones Inn or run over to wherever you are all night on the internet, and you do yourself some self-reflecting. In other words, bitch, you don't know me. What are you talking about? Let's see. I feel like I should use another Mac Miller song, since he is a hometown pride type of boy. Billy Squire, dude. I'm not here to get a date, and these fat bitches are trying to paint me as some kind of weirdo that's out here trying to get a date. That's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. Thirsty, desperate, man-looking women, dude. None of them are my type anyways, dude. I understand what they're pushing. Everybody wants some Van Halen. Ooh, I could do that. But which one, dude? There's so many good Van Halen songs. Let's see. I was looking for something more like to tell people to go fuck their mothers, but I didn't want to. I don't want to get Elevated Truth excited. Let's see. How about Eruption? There's so many good Van Halen songs. Wait, it's called Everybody Wants Some? Oh, yeah, of course. Jay coming through. So, yeah, stand by. It's gonna get rocky around here, but your boy's ready to fight. I got all the ammunition. They can do whatever they want. This is like the third time this same group of hags has just made an attempt. You know, you can have my moderators. You can have all the people I trusted for a couple of years, dude. I can't care anymore. I don't live my life in such a treacherous, fucking pathetic way. I just don't. They do. All their teeth are bad. Have you ever seen Jones's teeth? Like, holy shit, dude. I don't know if it's from chain smoking, bad genetics, or if she's just that unhealthy. But my God, dude, cankles and teeth like that. And then she punishes us all by fucking putting her belly in shorts, dude. Stop doing that. Ugh. Why would you do that to them? That's not consensual. It's like some Elevated Truth shit. Anyways, let me swap this out. But my biggest concern is big old Jonesing going to send her husband to send Buffalo after me. What was that? What was that, dude? It was inappropriate is what it was. Sit around talking what everybody else does wrong. They do all the worst shit. They just do it with while completing sentences. So a bunch of dumb fucks are like, that they must be good. They say they're good. They must be good. Yeah. They're not. Loyalty. Talk to me about fucking loyalty, dude. Some of the most unloyal, fat, mentally unwell cunts on the face of the earth. A conglomerator, congealed in this one little nook and cranny, all suckling on the tit of the hive like they have been their whole entire existence here, dude. Real pathetic people, man. We're better than the hive because we left, and now these are the rules. Fuck your rules and fuck your face too. Am I going live? Yes, I'm going over to Cousin Charlie's to screen snipe Rebecca Crackhead Turder. It's no longer Turner. Her name is now Turder because she's in a full diaper on a potty chair. I mean, you don't need butts. You don't need both. You're on a potty chair and you're whatever, crackhead. We're gonna go screen snipe her. Charlie said it's okay because Charlie don't care. Lost Lily. The universe is talking to me whenever I look at your name and I see lost. That's all I see. Lost. You need to take some self-reflection, David. These people, dude. My God, dude. These people need a hug. Send her out. They all want some, dude. Gross. Gross. They're all so gross. Mean and stupid. Ugh. So this is the bad guy arc of my lore and my story here. I'm done being nice, dude. I've been trying to play along, trying to be respectful to people that don't respect me. Those fucking days are over, dude. Get a helmet. It's gonna get rocky. And I got all the receipts, dude. So fucking let's go. Sinner out.
You can't get romantic on a subway line. Conductor don't like it, says you're wasting your time. But everybody wants some. I want some too. Everybody wants some. Baby, how are you? Oh, yeah, yeah. I take a move lad looking for a move.
Just so you guys know, I'm not going to schedule this stuff over on Charlie. I'm just going to wrap this up, go grab a sandwich, get some fresh coffee, and I'm just going to go live. So see you there in a couple of minutes. Do me a flavor and share out Cousin Charlie's link. I don't even know if I have any mods in here. Summer was here just a minute ago. I don't know who's left, man. I got to sort this out. Until then, like I said, get ready. It's going to get rocky. Sinner out.
Where'd you get this? Oh, yeah. I like the way the line runs up the back of the stockings. I've always liked those kind of high. High heels too, you know. No, don't take them off. Leave them on. Yeah. That's it. A little more to the right. Look, I'll pay you for it. What the fuck?